Great. So before we start our program, let's have a rundown of the house rules for today's event. Before we begin, we are reminding everyone about the rules. You may type your questions in the chat box while the webinar is ongoing. This video will address the questions during the Q&A portion. We will allow the participants to open their cameras, but we will be disabling microphones during the presentation.
Attendance and participation in this webinar may entitle you to a certificate of participation. Only the participants who accomplish the feedback form will be issued a certificate of participation. So we will be sending the feedback form towards the end of the program, and we value respect and courtesy at all times. Enjoy and have a productive training session. And additional ulit, kahapon, maraming nagkaka-problem when changing their name. So we encourage everyone na lang to type their company or affiliation po sa ating chat box so we can assist to rename your Zoom names po. You can type po your company name, then our slash or dash name to easily identify each and every participant po. So this is especially needed in order for us to acknowledge you, your company's attendance for today's webinar and when it's giving the certificates of of appreciation to our partners in library. And to finally announce of the game winners as well. So type nyo na po. Okay, so nag-random na tayo ng rules. So let's take a look at what will happen for us today. So our program starts with a warm welcome and opening remarks by Professor Bien Malotro, CTVDO former OIC director. And after that, we will have a short recap of what happened yesterday. Then we will start our technology showcase. So be amazed again by these innovations from our very own inventor. Then we will be showing our gratitude to our partners as we give this special segment for you. We will have a short break after, so alam niyo na kung anong next. Kung hindi pa, abangan. Then our technology showcase continues with more innovations and solutions that are shaping our world. Don't miss out. And as we go to our afternoon sessions of notes, our Vice Chancellor for Research, we share some insights and gratitude.
Okay, so let's begin our second day with a short opening remarks from the former OIC Director, Dr. Bienvenido S. Veloso. Dr. Bienvenido S. Veloso is currently a professor at the UP College of Pharmacy. He is a former OIC Director of the MPPBO, a former Dean of UP College of Pharmacy, who finished BS Industrial Pharmacy and Master of Pharmacy Industrial Pharmacy track from the same college and obtained his MBA and his Doctor of Business Administration from the Roxas University College of Business. He has helped organize and conduct research and seminar workshops in herbal medicine, drug manufacturing, intellectual property management, technology transfer, and academic entrepreneurship. His current research work is on the formulation of herbal medicine and the establishment of pharmaceutical science services for clinical research. I now give the floor to Sergio.
Thank you, Mayan. Good afternoon to all. It is with great pleasure to welcome you to the second day of this year's Teknolusugan. The theme, Level Up, Maximizing Transformative Technologies for Better Healthcare and Development Opportunities. Yesterday, we learned about 5 selected innovative technologies developed by UP Manila scientists and inventors with the support of the administration and the research funding agencies. The immersive gamification technology system of the management of patients with behavioral and psychological symptoms of dementia, the IMDPS, glucose genetic markers that dissect the ergonomic anatomy tables, the ergonomic surgical endure, Targubat and Apaya tablets, the anti-colic and anti-diabetic herbal drugs, respectively. These inventions are proofs that the UP Manila TPBDO, with the cooperation of our scientists and inventors, has contributed to advance in terms of promoting IP protection, technology transfer, and commercialization in the university. The fact is that its present portfolio of technology has diagnostics, health and wellness products, therapeutics, digital health and ICTs, medical devices, vaccines, and cosmetics, among others. The UP Manila TTBDO is true to its mandate to seek, secure, and scale to serve, and in pursuit of the national innovation agenda and strategic development of the country. On the second day of Teknolusugan, we proudly present the other equally valuable innovative technologies from the university being protected and promoted for commercialization by the UP Manila TTBDO. But first, we will have the ceremonial signing of the licensing agreement of Lagundi tablets for export to show our appreciation and support to our licensees who signed licensing agreements with UP Manila. The first one where the product Lagundi is for export. This only highlights the potential of UP Manila technologies developed by our local inventors and being commercialized by our industry partners to be exported and earn foreign currencies that will benefit the company as well as the university through royalty earnings. For sure, other UPM technologies have the same potential to be commercialized not only locally but in other countries as well. It's just a matter of time for these technologies, for the opportunity to come to them. Our technology presentation today will be grouped into two categories: those with high technology readiness level that meets industry partners. This includes the RX those with a strong genetic background, meaning there's a relative lupus. No? This technology can be further developed into a test kit. Now, the markers are already there and already established. We just proceeded with the ceremonial signing uh, with the Yerba Buena, no? With the President Corporation. So what is Yerba Buena? Yerba Buena tablet is a for post-operative and various types of pain. It's an aromatic herb used by our ancestors as tea for headaches, toothaches, arthritis, and dysuria. Good news. Now, Yerba Buena tablet is now undergoing trial batch production, which will then proceed to which will then proceed to FDA registration and will be available in the market by the second half of 2024. This has been clinically proven to manage pain, so it has analgesic uh, qualities. No? So then we had our, of course, Dr. Raul Tura of MTech. We had a ceremonial signing for the biomarker for cardiovascular diseases. No? This innovation is a first of its kind, no, in precision diagnostics. We can now determine the suitable drugs for cardio patients. Take note, Filipino cardio patients. Um, so no more trial and error for those with hypertension. Uh, uh, for the maintenance drugs. So this is very exciting. Um, and then we proceeded with the technologies of Dr. Rafael Dundo. No, firstly, the dissect. This is the immersion and dissection cadaver table for anatomical instruction. Um, the ergonomic cadaver immersion table, this has a built-in storage chamber and the first motorized lifting mechanism. Uh, so it has a multifunctional instrument tray and tablet platform, and way more cost effective than the current imported cadaver tables, no? Costing over $1 million. Which is, uh, I think it is also definitely a game changer. Um, then we had our Chang Gubat Zero, presented by Prof. Daisy May Bagovisan. So Chang Gu Zero is a herbal medicine for the treatment of gastroenteritis and diarrhea. And that it has been clinically proven to address this stomach problems and it relieves abdominal pain. Next, we have the presentation by Dr. Jaime Purificacion uh, of the Ampalaya tablet. So, the Ampalaya tablet for non-insulin dependent diabetes is a herbal medicine, which has been clinically proven to be comparable with glybensamide to lower blood sugar, but without the side effects. So, so again, I want to, for the lupus genetic marker, this was presented by our Chancellor-elect, Dr. Michael P. So, for more details, you may email us at pcbdo.utm@up.edu.ph. We can do a full pitching. And so this is very, very exciting to when we are talking with our industry partners.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Sito, for that recap. So there you have it. That was day one, ladies and gentlemen. So I am pretty sure you want more of our university technology.
Okay, so yesterday we celebrated the latest signings of our industry partner with us. They will recognize our foreign partners for their strategic partnership and loyalty to business in Manila as we award them with certificates of appreciation. So if your company, so all if we're in the this room, kindly open your camera for once you mention your company name. Okay, so we will have an online photo system and picture taking review. So, okay, appreciation to licensees. We go on to the first certificate for Inogen Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. I think Miss Wendy is here. So if you may please turn on your camera. Also would like to ask um, Director Rudy and our managers to open their cameras for a quick picture taking. Next, please, kindly assist po. Thank you, Miss Wendy, for attending. Okay, so on my count, um, three, two, one. Okay, so we would like to award the Imogen the certificate of appreciation for always licensing the duty with us, and I think we haven't spotlighted everyone for the picture taking. Um, Secretary, Rosita.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, five.
One,
One, two.
two, three. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next certificate. If you may, please.
So the next certificate is presented to Azaria Pharmaceutical Laboratories Incorporated. So maybe from representative from Azaria. Okay, so have a picture. One, two, three, nine.
Okay, so let's move on to the next certificate. We are awarding this certificate to Eva Generic Trading. So this is certificate is also awarded in recognition for the partnership with us. So let's post for the picture. One, two, three.
Okay, so moving on to our next awardee. So the certificate of appreciation is given to Engr Medical Incorporated. So there you are. So smile. Three, two, one.
Okay, so we move on to the next um, certificate. Okay, so the certificate of appreciation is awarded to Interhealth Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. So if a representative is around, so uh, please turn on your camera. Okay, let's take a picture. Three, two, one. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next.
So for our certificate of appreciation is given to Light Square Laboratories Incorporated. So if there's a representative, turn on your camera. So in three, two, one, smile.
Okay, we move on to the next certificate. We're awarding this certificate to New Market Link Pharmaceutical Corporation. So if you're around, please turn on your camera so we can do a quick picture taking. Okay, let's go for the picture. Three, two, one.
Okay, so moving on to our next awardee. So certificate of appreciation is given to Pharmacare Products Corporation. So if the representative is around, kindly turn on your camera so you will be recognized. For our photo taking in three, two, one, smile.
Okay, we move on to the next certificate, which is awarded to the Philippine to choose for traditional and alternative healthcare. If you're around po, representatives from the past, I think I saw one anyway. So if you're there, please turn on your camera so we can do a quick picture taking.
Ayan, si
Ayun. Hi,
Mr.
sir.
Archivido and Gideon from Kita. So I believe siya yung nanalo kahapon.
Thank you for attending, sir. So,
Thank you for attending, sir.
okay, so let's take a picture po. Three,
3,
two,
2, 1.
one, smile.
Okay, so moving on to our next awardee. So the certificate of appreciation is given to St. Raphael the Archangel, pharmaceutical distributor. So if our representative is around, kindly turn on your camera so you can be recognized. So picture taking in 3, 2, 1, smile.
Okay, so let's go on to the next certificate to be awarded to Seven North Corporation. So, if representative from Seven North is around, please turn on your cameras, start your picture taking. Okay, let's take a picture. So, three, two, one, smile.
Okay, for our next activity, so the certificate of appreciation is given to Manila Health Site Incorporated. If there's a representative from Manila Health Tech, please turn on your camera so you will be recognized. So let's go for picture taking in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so let's move on to the next certificate. The certificate is awarded to Multiplex RNC Eurotex. So if any representative from Eurotex is in the room right now, please turn on the camera. Okay, for a quick picture taking, three, two, one, smile.
Okay, for our next awardee, so may we call our representative from Pivotal Peak Digital Health Solutions. So the certificate of appreciation is given to Pivotal Peak. So if there's a representative from Pivotal Peak, please turn on your camera so you can be recognized. Okay, I guess we have. Okay, picture taking in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, moving on to our last certificate for Micro Circuit Corporation. So if a representative is around, please turn on your camera so we can take a picture. Okay, so for participating on my count, three, two, one, smile. So yeah, thank you for everyone. No? Big thank you to our licensees. UP Manila's technology will not reach the public without your help. It is here for dismantle and hope for stronger partnership in the years to come. Especially for herbal drugs, because there's so much in the pipeline already. Things are really brewing for other herbal drugs. And we hope that very soon we can get this drug into the market. For those new partners and licensees, alam mo kung sino kayo. And let's work together for the for effective, more affordable herbal drugs to be available and accessible to the Filipino people, locally and abroad.
Tama ka dyan, Mayan. And we have lined up more. So stay tuned. Kaya Kaya, wag na natin patagalin to. Let's begin our technology showcase. So, like yesterday, meron tayong promising technologies that are up for grabs. So, can you guess what technology will come first for day two? Hmm, ano kaya? So, for our first technology, let me introduce to you Dr. Portia Marcelo. So, Dr. Portia Marcelo is a distinguished professor at the College of Medicine, University of the Philippines, Manila, with expertise in community medicine and health policy. Her academic journey includes earning an MD from University of the Philippines in 1993 and a Master in Public Health International from John Hopkins University in 2001. Dr. Marcelo has been a driving force in healthcare policy and research. Notably, she led groundbreaking research as the principal investigator in in modernizing government regulations program at the Development Academy of the Philippines from 2022 to 2023. So very recent now, focusing on telehealth regulation. She also made a significant contribution to the telehealth policy development project for the Department of Health. So her previous role as the immediate past director of the National Telehealth Center NIH from 2011 to 2017 saw her excel in public health informatics and e-health or digital health innovations R&D, overseeing projects funded by the DOH, DOST, CHED, UNICEF, and others. These projects, including the National Telehealth Service Program, RxBox, and CHIPS, have left a lasting impact on healthcare accessibility and quality. So beyond academia and research, Dr. Marcelo is a sought-after consultant in public health, offering her expertise to prestigious organizations such as DOH, PSA, WHO, and UNICEF, to name a few. Her contributions extend to local government health offices and NGOs where she has played influential roles. So to present our Xbox, let us all welcome Dr. Portia Marcelo.
I'm Dr. Portia Fernandez Marcelo from the UP Manila College of Medicine. And when we thought about this art box, I was still with the National Telehealth Center. I'm presenting this on behalf of the research team across the years, and certainly Dr. Luis Stone from the UP College of Engineering, Triple E and specifically, along with the most recent inventor as well, Dr. Harry Hanoi. Okay, so what is the motivation behind art box? We know that the Philippines is an archaeological country with its difficult geography, and the poor investments in health care has led to poor access to quality care, especially in the rural remote primary care centers of the government at this point. So there is a fragmented health system, therefore there are delays in intervention, such as 60% of Filipinos die without seeing a doctor. So that was that time. While it has improved, its range challenges. So what was the solution at that point? So the National Telehealth Center thought about putting together three of its technologies that was in development. The National Telehealth Service Program, which was already linking rural remote physicians serving the poorest of the poor in order to provide better access to quality care for their patients. We were also thinking of putting together the electronic medical record system, which is also intended for primary care facilities, and an RxBox telemedicine device in order to improve quality and safety in the care of patients in the remote communities. We have to remember that one out of three Filipinos die of non-communicable diseases, and um, the most worrisome is really heart diseases or cardiovascular diseases, as well as in the Philippines, every day 10 mothers die. And care at the primary care facilities are essentially meant for mothers as well as children. So with this in mind, we thought about the version 2 of the RX box. So RX box originally was developed in 1907. It was intended for the emergency room for trauma care. The original inventor was a trauma surgeon. Since I'm in primary care, I was thinking of emphasizing precisely ser- services and tools needed at the facility. So in addition to the vital signs lead, so there is a thermometer, a sphygmomanometer to measure the blood pressure of the patient, as well as the heart rate of the patient and the oxygen level. Um, there was an original electronic electrocardiogram or ECG that measures the heart activity of the patient. So all of these are displayed in a tablet, which is the RxBox. So the second version brought in a maternal and child care suite, wherein the uterine contraction, so as the mother goes into labor, the uterine contracts. So it measures, the RxBox measures the strength of contraction of the uterine. Certainly during prenatal care, mothers most love the heart rate monitor because she is able to feel her baby's heart. So that is the RX doc second version. So does it work? Let me share a story, this original story of this 19-year-old mother from Batanes, so it's up north. And this is a patient of Dr. Jackie Mobile, who is then a doctor to the virus, as well close to it. So this patient is a teenage mother at 19 years old, and this was her baby, and she presented with preeclampsia or very high blood pressure during labor. And the baby was already affected, and it was in distress. And this, coming from the art stuff, the data there prompted the doctors, the clinicians, to refer our patients to the Batanes Provincial Hospital. On the right lower section of the image is the baby and the mother. So they have been safely taken care of by medical specialists at the provincial hospital because of the prompt referral to the use of better evidence. So that's it work. So across 4 years when we deployed this, we were able to reach 163 towns all over the country, reaching 2,100 local health professionals, more attuned to the use of e-health and electronic gadgets and telemedicine. Because the RX was used at least 750,000 times across those 4 years across the country. So the plan for large-scale implementation was really in sync with the idea of getting more evidence that the technologies we are developing, which it pushed towards maturity. Certainly, the Department of Science and Technology and the Department of Health is thinking more communities, then more patients will serve. So the plan was for 1,000 pounds, which covers practically 57% of the country. Unfortunately, again, unfortunately, what happened was with the change of leadership, then the COVID, how can we use the RX stuff amidst this global unprecedented pandemic? We are happy to report to you that within our own Bakugan, the Philippine General Hospital, we had to use the RX stuff on patients. And among the first and the successful, the first case was actually a mother who was pregnant with twins. And for 4 months, this patient was being telemonitored using the RX stuff. So, amidst the COVID, the Department of Science and Technology, all the regional offices still pursued and deployed the art stock to at least 682 times, reaching over 6,000 local health professionals across the country. This was used 500,000 times, and some detail, they were able to show the use of the art stock in clinical care among 43,000 pregnant mothers and patients with heart disease, close to 9,000 patients. So that's a fair feedback on that front. And you can see how this has been used even amidst the pandemic. This is the photo of the COVID ward in PCH, and you can see that patients here need really a lot of attention precisely because they are separated from others with only largely severe COVID infections. And each patient will have to be monitored very closely by the health workers. So the researchers were thinking, how do we use this against this hospital setting where you have to manually monitor the vital signs via regular hospital rounds for the clinicians. And this would need a lot of time and effort, which leads to the risk of infection and fatigue among the health care workers. We were also thinking, how can we use the RX box in home care settings for the elderly, for those with comorbidities, in order, again, to decrease the risk of infection, but at the same time, um, still provide access to care. So what was thought of was RX telemetry system, RX box telemetry system. So the RX box telemetry system is a medical monitoring system that allows healthcare and institutions, health workers, and institutions to automatically and remotely monitor their patients in real time. So you can see here the RX box, and we developed an application, a software application that will allow patients who are each one hooked to an RX box, and it allows the clinicians, the nurses, the doctors to view what is happening to each one of them. So the vital signs measured are the same vital signs that are being captured by the RX box: the heart rate, the temperature, the respiratory rate, the blood oxygen levels, the blood pressure. So we are monitoring wirelessly the vital signs in real time. And in fact, there was put together an early warning score with notifications visually for the health workers that the combination of the vital signs is actually indicating possible deterioration of the patient. So throughout the research period, 150 mothers were actually subjected to this RX doctor section as well as PGH um, obstetrics and gynecology and reconstruction. So indeed, the RX box supports health workers because it provides them with better and more tools, and therefore the confidence to refer the patients with better evidence about what's happening to the patient. So they get better access to expert advice when needed. It supports health facilities by improving efficiency and the quality of care, and therefore encourages patients to come in and increase the service utilization. Certainly, the link to the CHIPS electronic medical record potentially provides income, additional income to PhilHealth. Indeed, it connects health facilities to achieve health system goals. So as a research and development product, it went through several iterations, and we are happy to say that this is a technology readiness level 89. So next step, we need help so that we can expand the implementation of the RX box. And right now, certainly exploring the use of the RX box in different settings as shown in our research. And one of the other things that the RX box contributed to is really encouraging the development of the biomedical device industry in the country. So the lessons has been far-reaching, and we hope you can join us in the next research journey. With that, thank you very much.
Okay, so that was the presentation of Dr. Marcel for that very for our box. So maybe call on to the virtual floor, Dr. Marcel. So sa totoo lang, RX box is a big help sa ating mga kababayan na nasa rural where hindi ganun ka-accessible yung healthcare. So sitios, barangay, fish town, or yung mga nasa island, yung mga nakatira doon ay talagang nagbe-benefit dito. Tama po ba, Dr. Shah?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, indeed.
So now we will open the floor for questions. So please raise your hand if you have questions sa ating presenter, which is Doc Porsche. So yun, Doc, meron pong question, no? So, what further developments are in the pipeline by the RX box and the RX box telemetry?
So right now, in terms of the telemetry, which is the newest version, if you may know, we've only implemented it in a handful. 150 is not enough. And definitely we want to make a case that it can indeed be useful in the setting in home care, especially with the pandemic, but moving forward beyond that, it can actually be used. So indeed, the the device and its attachment to convey can actually be expanded further in terms of the number of use cases or patients who would use that as well as health workers in order to establish the maturity and the usability in fact in settings that we have proposed. Nevertheless, the other one, the other version for primary care, which has reached really a huge number already. Uh, this is definitely something useful, and we're in the day and age of universal health care, its usefulness in primary care is already established. So that version needs to be expanded further. Um, my colleagues who are doing community medicine, they remain to have facilities that are ill-equipped to care for mothers as well as patients who have cardiovascular diseases. So this will definitely be a great help to them. Over, and I hope you can help.
Okay, tama. Of course, no, we will help po na ma-commercialize natin yung RX box. Ayun po, meron po tayo isa pang question. So, will it be affordable for the ordinary people?
So when we first were developing this, it was really intended for clinicians to manage that because it can be complex. So it's not uh, uh, what do you call that? It's not a BP monitor at that point.
Mm.
But certainly that would be part of the next generation, if you may. And in fact, at this point, in terms of tech transfer, value engineering will make it uh, more easy to be used even by the layperson. Um, that's an interesting proposition in that sense. When we started on ECG or a photometer was about 300,000 and it remains to be around that much. However, our research, and research is also expensive, we were able to bring it down to about, uh, and this includes personnel and so on, around 180 per unit. Remember, this also embeds the deployment and so on. So we can imagine how the device alone is actually going down. So the cost of producing just the device. So I think value engineering will even make it lower. And with business development, it will be more affordable.
So, I think that would be the end goal para dyan diba? Parang to each every household has one, para siyempre hindi, para yung early detection, if ever, para na rin talaga sa lahat.
Uh,
So, do you
that
have,
one, maybe just to clarify, like an ECG and then a person takes it. Definitely you need the health workers first, diba?
pero at
Parang,
least that
you
parang,
also, yeah.
at least,
But definitely the idea is to make it more accessible. But at the same time, the partnership with the clinicians should be there. And, health sector reform is trying to make the relationship between their primary care doctors more stronger in the sense that meron kang accessible and available clinician. So, yun yun.
okay po. So, meron pa po tayong isa pang tanong. So, what is the competitive advantage po itong RX box natin over other existing technologies?
Well, number one, siguro a nationalism part. Filipino made, if you may. But all of these parts are already developed. At most, the competitive advantage is that it's a compact device. So we can actually use this, it's very portable, um, versus the monitors that are huge at that point, although they decreased recently in terms of size and portability. Um, uh, what you saw how the device can actually be used in various settings. So that is actually useful in that sense because a lot of the devices that were thought about, separately, were really meant for especially the ECG for the super specialists. Now we're trying to make it more popular and bring it and push it forth where the people are. So at the primary care and community clinic.
Ayan, tama. Tama naman talaga si Doc. Yung compact na yung parang lahat, one-stop shop nandun na sa device na yun napakalaking advantage talaga. No? So ito Doc, meron pa po tayong isang question. Feeling ko last na to for, ano, so what is the main goal po of this product?
Well, the main goal of the product is one, we need to scale, and we're hoping that at least 3,500 to 3,500 primary care government facilities will have one because it is useful as primary care to deliver the best care that they can for their clientele. Um, we are now demonstrating its usefulness as well at the hospital. So we hope to expand that aspect further. And the original idea was it's meant for emergency care. The original author or inventor was Dr. Alvin Marcelo, a trauma surgeon. So this is more than a decade ago. But at that time, the difficulties in research uh, precluded its use really in an ER in an ambulance transmitting information to the ER so that the ER will be ready. Certainly, our context, ang sama ng traffic, ang pangit ng internet, diba? It has improved, but we'll see if we can expand to that area. So two things, may R&D pa na potential use. And then number two, definitely for the technology components that are actually ready, we hope to definitely expand its use to more health facilities. So licensing, that's one of the immediate goals that you can say.
Ayan, tama. Tama si Doc, lighting fee. Kaya kung meron man tayo dyan sa participants natin, no? Pakigalaw na lang ang baso. So ayan, I think that's all po. That, I think wala na po atang questions, Doc, no? So thank you po again for sharing your technology with us, our Xbox. So please take off the floor because we'd like to recognize po your presentation of this technology today. So may we call on our director, Director Luigi Tejero, our IP manager, Sir Debbie, and our BD manager, Sir Sito, for the awarding certificate to Dr. Portia Marcelo. So the certificate is awarded to Dr. Portia Marcelo for her technology presentation for our Xbox presented during the Teknolusugan 2023, given this day of October 20, 2023 via Zoom. So ayan po. Kindly open your cameras po for our quick picture taking. Info. Technique is assist po. So I'll smile in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you po,
Salamat.
Dr. Siya po. Thank you po.
Magandang hapon sa ating lahat and congratulations sa PTV.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Doc. Kapitanan.
So that was Dr. Siya for our Xbox.
Okay, so moving on to our next technology. Let's introduce to you Dr. Christopher Constantine. Okay, Dr. Christopher Constantine is a senior associate professor in the Department of Anatomy at the University of the Philippines College of Medicine. He also serves as an attending physician with the Philippine General Hospital Department of Rehabilitation Medicine. Dr. Constantino is an distinguished fellow of the Philippine Academy of Rehabilitation Medicine and holds certification in advanced rehabilitation research in motion analysis from Marquette University and the Medical College of Wisconsin, as well as the study of rehabilitation from Ramakrishna Hospital, Manila University, Bangkok, Thailand. In addition to his academic and clinical roles, Dr. Constantino is an inventive force in the field with patents and copyrights to his name. He is the creator of the University of the Philippines College of Medicine and Method Teaching Learning Anatomy Software, UPCM Atlas, and the innovative Dissect Education Submersible and Chronology Cadaver Table Dissect, both of which have been granted patents. He is also the visionary behind Adapter Project, a robotic exoskeleton for upper extremity rehabilitation for which he holds a patent. Dr. Constantino's work continues to shape the landscape of rehabilitation medicine and medical education. So let us all welcome to the virtual store Dr. Prof. Constantino, who will be presenting at last.
Hello, good afternoon. So I'm Dr. Christopher Constantino from the Department of Anatomy and the Department of Rehabilitation Medicine. And today I will be discussing about the augmented teaching learning software, anatomy software, no, the UPCM Atlas. So thank you to the DTBDO team for inviting me to share this invention. Right? Before anything else, no, for obvious reasons, no, any part of this lecture cannot be recorded or shared. So in 2020, no, as we all know, the WHO declared the COVID-19 pandemic, no, a pandemic, and we were at war with an invisible foe. No, and several casualties were seen across the globe, and several efforts were done to curb the devastating effects of the virus. And it was actually not only the health sector that was undergoing a battle, no, but the education sector faced many challenges and had to adapt to the demands of the lack of face-to-face classes. So in this video that's playing, it's showing the third floor of Calderon Hall in the UD College of Medicine, one of our medical school buildings. This is where we usually conduct our cadaver dissections, and as you can see, no, a once busy and bustling place was actually very empty during the pandemic. So this was a problem for us because, as any medical student or doctor would know, anatomy is among the pillars of medical education that enable future physicians to build their clinical skills. And cadaveric dissection has been one of the centerpieces of anatomy education among medical schools worldwide. And it's actually considered the gold standard in terms of teaching anatomic structures. Okay? And during the pandemic, there was a shortage of cadavers due to the mandate of cremation in our country. It goes without saying that this severely hampered the supply of cadavers for medical students. The traditional method of physically dissecting cadavers was not possible, and anatomy education was being delivered through different learning platforms using several alternatives as institutions strive to deliver the best possible form of teaching amidst the sudden shift brought about by the pandemic. So because of this, no, these types of intangible lessons we wanted to teach were hard to impart on the students. And actually, virtual platforms that were widely used during the pandemic were unable to meet these three important learning outcomes out of 11 that we usually impart on our students. So because of that, our department did a program called LEAP. No? It's a learning enhancement in anatomy program. So it became annually, no, during the pandemic. And basically, it was a bridging program to address that lack of actual cadaveric dissection. And one of the things brought about was the creation of the University of the Philippines College of Medicine Augmented Teaching Learning Anatomy Software, or simply put, the UPCM Atlas. Okay? Basically, when I created this, I wanted to incorporate the use of technology to enhance anatomy education, keeping in mind the imminent resumption of traditional cadaveric dissection, no, once the supply is back and once the pandemic is over. No? And it actually utilizes augmented reality to automatically generate labels of cadaveric structures on the screen of the user's mobile device, be it a smartphone, tablet. No? And actually, this app enriches the experience of actual cadaveric study with technological advancement, while still allowing the students and residents, no, because I also asked residents to try this out, no, it allows them to develop teamwork, collaboration, and communication among peers and educators because the software is used with the cadavers. No? Unlike what most apps are doing, no? The apps that are available right now, they basically immerse you fully into the app without allowing you to, interact with other live people or actual physical cadavers. So I think that's one of the things that's different with my app compared to the ones already existing. Okay, so in terms of medical education, no, these studies show that yeah, augmented reality is becoming popular. No? And I think it became more popular during the pandemic due to its cheaper cost and being unencumbered with the supervisory and ethical constraints needed when using human cadavers. And other research has actually shown that AR or augmented reality in medical education eases learning, no, by affording less cognitive effort and enables students to have better knowledge organization and learning task completion by providing a better sensory experience. I think that's comparing the old way where you have your textbook beside you and then while studying cadaver, ease this and it's easier just bring out your phone and point it on an instructor that you're having a hard time identifying. Actually, in systematic reviews of mental reality has been talked about. Other benefits showed that there was equal knowledge gain compared to the traditional teaching methods, but technology, AR included, imparted increased learning experience, which I think was measured by student satisfaction, self-efficacy, and engagement. Also, technology enhanced teaching, again, AR included, showed positive results. But at this point, we should be aware that the evidence as of now is just weak to moderate. Okay? In terms of how AR is beneficial in terms of understanding complex facial anatomy and reducing cognitive load, which I think, yeah, from the several other studies I've investigated, are was a recurring theme among those studies that it reduced cognitive load, making learning easier and a more pleasant experience. Okay? So, because of these studies, the use of AR as a teaching tool was justified by me, but I didn't like to use AR alone. I wanted the learning objectives to be met, the effective communication skills, adherence to professional and ethical standards, volunteerism. I want them still to be met. No? Let me show you, some examples of the existing technology that's close to our invention. No? So to illustrate what I mean by I don't want the technology to take away the students from the physical interactions. Okay, so these are the top three applications that are currently available. Like we did this business model study with PT video. So again, thank you. Now, so number one is the medical holodeck, the one at the top most. Basically, we can view a cadaver using virtual reality or augmented reality, but the problem is you're always viewing the same cadaver over and over again. They have a very nice cadaver, well dissected with all its parts, but you're always using a virtual cadaver, and it's the same cadaver over and over again. You're not using a physical cadaver. The next one, the visible body human anatomy atlas, it's augmented reality basically, but you're basically producing augmented reality from textbook images. And then the last one, virtual medicine human anatomy VR, it's a virtual reality. So basically, you wear headsets, and then actually it's nice, I think, because you can study anatomy with any student from anywhere in the world. But again, you're inside the virtual world. You're not interacting physically with the cadaver or with your classmates. So what I want is interaction, no? Augmented reality and interaction with cadavers and with your colleagues. So as you can see here in the video on the left, there was a bug actually. You look at that, the labels were not properly placed. So as you can see, the teamwork is there. The students were trying to tilt the phone in order for the labels to align properly. So that's what I'm talking about. You're using the app, but you're not taking away the physical benefits of actual cadaveric reception. And and on the video on the right, as I mentioned, I invited residents to try this app out. And they said that it could be useful. For example, we're doing ultrasound um, in rehab, no musculoskeletal ultrasound or EMG and CV. For example, there's a model, in an anatomic model in the in the place where they're doing the procedure. They forget about if they forget something, they can just use their phone to identify the parts in the model rather than having to get to take out an atlas, search for specific page where to look. So this is what I meant that the AR app that we invented in the department is aimed to enrich rather than replace the actual act of dissection or interacting with cadavers. And then as with any invention, there's a certain limitations. So the number one limitation is me. As I mentioned in other talks, and I don't have any formal training in IT. None of the faculty in the department has formal training. It was just with the passion of overcoming the barriers in education caused by the COVID-19 pandemic that allowed us to create this app despite the lack of formal training. And with that being said, because app development is not my main line of work, I am very inefficient in adding functionality because I cannot devote enough time. And I don't know the quick way to to edit the app. It takes a long time for me to modify the app or add structures to the identifier. And the other limitation is it's only able to label what it's programmed to label because it only uses augmented reality. No? So as you can see on the left, as you can see, both are models of a dissection of the face. But the app can only label the structure on the left because I programmed it to label that specific structure. If I use the app to label the structure on the right, it won't be able to do so because I did not program that. So therefore, we actually want to, here in the future directions, we want the app to be able to label structures on its own merit. In other words, we want to add a layer of artificial intelligence and machine learning so that the app can identify any cadaver. No? And then potentially, it will also be able to label structures in live persons. For example, for residents in training, they can probably use the app while they're operating on patients. Okay, so for that to work, we need the help of an IT team, and I've actually already talked to two companies, no? And of course, it's not cheap, to employ the services of an IT team. That's why we were very lucky to be awarded with the first PGH Directors Innovation Grant. So we already have the money, and right now we just need the protocol to be cleared by the ethics board, and we can start working on the project. So with that, thank you very much for your time, and I'm hoping to find meaningful collaborations to further improve the app and help the medical community as well. Thank you, and thank you DTDDO again for inviting me to talk.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Toker. So Dr. Toker is here with us now. So a fantastic innovation from Dr. Toker in the Department of Anatomy, College of Medicine. Thank you, Dr. Toker, for presenting to everyone at lab. So what I got from his presentation is that this innovation is an app that students or doctors can install on their phone, itatapat nila sa anatomy models, and the app does all the work for them, identifying the parts. So
Yes.
it really results more doc, it will improve the experience. So this is great because I saw from there that if you're a resident in the field already, you won't need to bring your big books and your modules, and flip through the pages. You just have to bring out your phone and just and itapat mo sa anatomical figure, and then it will just be identified by users. So yeah, I think maraming nagtatanong kay Dr. Sir ngayon. I think we have two questions already, so let's now open the floor for questions. Um, okay, so the first question is, what is the accuracy of the app code?
Well, right now, no? Yeah, if it detects the structure that I programmed it to identify, it's very accurate. Kasi isa lang lang naman. So, yun nga lang, as I presented in the video, there are times that the labels are not pointed well. No? So, pag nangyayari yun, you just need to take away the camera and then point it again. Then it will really align. So I think to answer your question, yun nga, in terms of pagiging accurate niya, it will be more pertinent once we apply yung artificial intelligence. Dun natin makikita kung if the app can actually accurately identify using different cadavers. Kasi right now, yun nga, parang it's programmed for that specific cadaver. So, it's unfair to say na accurate siya, na hindi siya accurate or hindi. Kasi parating yun lang yun. So, I think we'll be able to know if the app can accurately identify any cadaver once we start adding the artificial intelligence capability in the app. But yeah, right now, it's very accurate kasi it's just identifying the specific cadavers who program it to do so.
And I think meron na pang grant, right, for the next
Yes.
step, next direction. So there will be further improvement in the labeling of the cadaver as well as may other applications so pag hindi na model.
Yes.
Pwedeng sabihin.
Yeah, I mean, as with any invention, siyempre start ka muna sa most viable product. So pag na-perfect na namin yung capability niya on any cadaver, that's when we probably work on live patients lang.
Okay, so let's get to the other question about timing. May minimum spec ba sa phone? For the user nag-download ka ba siya ngayon or may roll out pa lang?
Okay, so number one, no, actually, well, hindi siya naman nag-download right now. Well, prototype pa lang siya. And kasi for you to launch an app sa App Store, you need a developer account from Apple. I'm an iPhone user, no, so I don't know the process on Android. No, but yeah, when I let the students use this, I actually uploaded the app to my phone through a wired connection. Pwede kasi yun. There's a program you can download and you can upload an app to your phone, but you can't make it available to the App Store. So actually, it was my phone that the students were using when we let them use the app. In terms of minimum specs, I think again, no, this is iOS. I think there's a minimum iOS you need to have for it to work. Kasi meron akong mga iPad mini na mga first generation, gano'n. It didn't work on those devices. Tapos, it worked on my iPhone XR. So, di ba, medyo luma na yun. So, kasi I think I had iOS 10 point something. So, I think it depends on the iOS. And of course, older Apple devices, diba? You can only update it to a certain iOS. And I actually tried putting the app on an Android device that was also old. But I think the problem was the camera was not good enough to detect the image. So I think there's definitely going to be a minimum requirement. But I think yun, iPhone XR, I think it came out 2017, 2018. So I think as long as your gadget is, nandun sa range na yun, I think it will work naman. And your camera should be good enough to detect the image clearly. So yeah, part of launching the app to the App Store is actually one of the things we would need help from an IT team. Kasi malamang, the IT team who we are going to work with, malamang meron na silang developer account. So, yun.
Yes, that's why we really need the investors, no? To reach out to us already para ma-improve na natin, make it more inclusive, no, yung application natin. First, another question. Are there any other applications of the technology or app outside anatomical or medical education?
That employ the same principle. Definitely, there's a lot. Basically, kasi what I presented was a shortened version, no? But actually, ang dami actually. Snapchat, that's an app that uses augmented reality similar to mine. So when it detects a face, it overlays something. Ganun din, Facebook Messenger, diba? When you do a video call, you can select a picture. Pokemon Go, another example of augmented reality. Uh, yeah, I think other businesses din, no, sometimes they, sa engineering din, they do augmented reality. Sa shopping, actually, may mga ibang online store yan, bili ka ng shades. If the app detects your front camera, detects your face, it will overlay the shades that you want. Para before you buy the shade, ano mo, ang itsura sa'yo. So, yeah, augmented reality is actually widespread already. But, yeah, even in ano, no, the second existing app that's already out there, no, it also uses augmented reality, but it's different nga because it just produces 3D images from the textbook that comes to the app. For this app, yeah, the thing that makes it different is yeah, it labels actual cadavers. And yeah, what we're moving forward is for it to learn how to identify cadavers on its own. Mm.
Yes. So, may isa pa na parang follow-up din sa specific. Do you foresee the app to be available on a per-time basis or subscription?
Hmm. Well, definitely yan siya. Probably, baka free to download and then of course, subscription. Kasi that was the business model of the existing apps. Yeah, when we did the business study with PTBDO, ganun siya. For example, yung medical holodeck, iba yung pricing niya pag institutional license, iba pa yung pricing niya pag personal license, iba pa nga pag doctor ka or lay person ka na gagamit, iba rin yung pricing. So probably, no, when you become successful, um, developing this app and it's ready for commercialization, then probably we'll follow the same model na it's more of licensing. Actually, ano nga, when I presented this app in Singapore during Rehab Week last yeah, end of September, one of the audience was actually a dean from a medical school in Malaysia. And yeah, she also recognized what it would take to make an artificial intelligence capable app. She actually said na, yeah, parang she can help us, no, with, yeah, so they also dissect with cadavers, yeah. And then sabi ko, sure, we'll accept your help. Maybe in return, we'll give you a PT license for the app. So, yeah, most likely that could be the business model for this app. And ano nga, no, kasi imagine, I think when we did our business study, there are 58 medical schools in the Philippines. And then, yeah, so imagine, I think this also has a good potential for revenue. So, imagine if we can convince all those medical schools sa Philippines pa lang to get a license for this app. And if by the time this app is commercialized, wala pa rin same across the globe, then imagine yung potential med schools all over the world will also use this application.
Yes, so tapos mag-unahan na ang ating mga investors, licensees, no, para maipot sa market na natin ang technology ng Atla. So, meron pa bang other questions? May pahabol ka ba? Please type it in the chat box or you'd like to ask it in person. Okay, so if there are no more questions, no, Dr. please stay on. We'd like to recognize you for presenting your technology today and answering the questions of our attendees. Okay, so this certificate is awarded to Dr. Tucker for his technology presentation for ATA. So I'd like to request the our manager to open your camera for a quick picture taking with Dr. Tucker.
Ay, thank you po. Yes, si Sir Sito, yung kasama ko nun, business model sabi, tsaka si First Ethan. Yeah.
Oh,
Ayan.
okay, let's go for the picture.
Ayan, alright.
Okay, one, two, three. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. for your for presenting at last and making it known to the board participants here today. Anyway, if you are all the others are interested, if you have tech leads, you can explore our website to know more about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dr. Okay, so let's move on sa ating ikatlo. Tama ba? Ikatlo na tayo, no? So as we approach halfway mark, so for our third technology, computer, select that. So for our third technology, we have ESOP to be presented by Dr. Aileen Yabe. So, kung mga di nakakilala, si Dr. Aileen Yabe is an associate professor at the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology College of Medicine, UP Manila. She is also an active consultant on analytical toxicology at the UPPGH National Poison Management and Control Center and an honorary fellow of the Philippine Society of Clinical and Occupational Toxicology, where she obtained her Doctor of Public Health and Master of Science in Public Health from the University of the Philippines College of Public Health with 30 years of experience both in research and academia. Her work include development and validation of laboratory methods, some of which were used in community health assessment studies, as well as investigation of mechanisms of antimicrobial actions of herbal plants. So Dr. Yaves also serves as the Assistant Director of the Institute of Herbal Medicine, National Institutes of Health, and with various engagements as bioexpert on biosafety and biosecurity for Southeast Asia. So Dr. Aileen Yaves is the principal investigator slash inventor of the ETOX POCT device and the project leader of the ETOX team. So huwag na tayong magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Let us all welcome on the virtual floor presenting ETOX and PSPHS, Dr. Aileen M. Yaves.
Good day, everyone. I am Dr. Yaves, an associate professor at the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology, UP College of Medicine, the project leader of ETOX research team. It is my pleasure to present the ETOX POCT device here at Teknolusugan 2022. In behalf of ETOX team, we would like to thank you to Manila PDBDO for inviting us in this platform to showcase the results of our research, the POCT device. Let me start with a patient case. A 32-year-old female presented at the emergency room accompanied by her mother. She had a history of abdominal pain and vomiting with recent onset of confusion as reported by her mother. Initial vitals obtained revealed a tachycardia and hypoglycemia. The examination revealed that the patient was blinded, confused, and had right upper quadrant tenderness. Management was initiated, but the patient remained confused. A urine specimen was collected and sent to the laboratory for testing. After 3 days, urine toxicology results showed a positive result for paracetamol. Delayed diagnosis of paracetamol poisoning was made, and the antidote for paracetamol poisoning, which is N-acetylcysteine, was initiated. On the other hand, with the availability of EPOS device at the emergency room, on the day of consult, urine sample could have been tested using the EPOS device, and the positive result for paracetamol will immediately lead to relevant investigations. The collateral history that the patient had taken an overdose and had a low quantity of paracetamol 3 days ago could have been elicited, and the diagnosis of paracetamol overdose could have been made, and NAC could have been immediately initiated. This is just one of the many potential uses of ECOP device, primarily to aid in early diagnosis and management of poison patients. The ECOP device will address the current need of the country in terms of early diagnosis of poisoning related to exposure to pharmaceutical products and even new psychoactive substances. Based on the census obtained from the National Poison Management and Control Center, spanning the years 2018 to 2022, poisoning associated with pharmaceutical agents topped in the annual census for several years now, with paracetamol as one of the top pharmaceutical agents associated with poisoning. Similarly, the recent study in 2019-2020 on the clinical and drug profiles of substance abusers in a tertiary hospital in the Philippines, out of the 110 samples sent to UPSS, 74 samples have confirmed traditional illicit drugs and or new psychoactive substances. Of the 74 samples, a significant number of 41 cases have confirmed new psychoactive substances considering that NPS is rarely reported in the Philippines. With the current burden as described, the gap in the testing platform for pharmaceuticals and NPS is a lack of portable, user-friendly, and cost-effective detection device, that is, a point-of-care testing device. The use of color tests requires hazardous chemicals, posing safety issues, accessibility, and facility requirements. Immunoassays are laboratory-based and costly. Moreover, the known psychoactive substances are not included in the available drugs of use point-of-care testing device test alone. Thus, the ETOX device can be an alternative to this existing testing platform. The ETOX pharmaceuticals can detect paracetamol, salicylates, and isoniazid. The panel on isoniazid can even be used for treatment compliance checking among TB patients taking anti-TB drugs with isoniazid as the biomarker. The ETOX MPS can detect 8 new psychoactive substances: ketamine, 5 synthetic catenols, and 2 synthetic cannabinoids. Majority of the NPS were the one detected in the drug profile study shown earlier. The ETOX device underwent rigorous methods development, optimization, and validation. During the development phase, series of procedures and testings were done. Afterwards, the device prototype underwent optimization both for pharmaceutical and non-psychoactive substances. Limits of detection were established based on the reference levels and toxic levels of each analyte. After optimization, the device was validated according to UNODC and CLSI standards using the validation parameters as shown. After rigorous development and optimization, this is the final device prototype. The one on your left is the ETOX new psychoactive substances, while the one on your right is the ETOX pharmaceuticals. Limit of detection of the device was tested using reference drug standards in methanol as well as drug standards spiked in drug theory. The obtained limit of detection for all assays was lower than the toxic level in or reference value of each analyte. Accuracy ranged from 90 to 97.5. All tests passed the criteria set by ISO 5725 for BOCD devices. In terms of precision, all tests are within 20% and pass the criteria set by UNODC for POCT devices. The sensitivity and specificity of all tests range from 88 to 100% and 80 to 100% respectively. The obtained sensitivity and specificity of the device is within the acceptable range set by UNODC for POCT devices. The positive predictive value and the negative predictive value of the ETOX device for all the tests range from 83.33 to 100% and 86.96 to 100% respectively. The POCD device for new psychoactive substances and pharmaceuticals were also tested for interference using over-the-counter drugs and other traditional illicit drugs. Parameters on stability, cost, and operational specifications were also assessed, and it got a score of 83% in terms of the operational specifications of a POCD. In terms of commercialization, the UP Manila TPPVO facilitated the patent application of the device, including its industrial design. Based on DOST technology readiness level criteria, our ETOX device for NPS and pharmaceutical is now at TRL5, with ongoing relevant environment testing, rigorous laboratory testing, integration of realistic elements, and high fidelity prototypes. The ETOX team is now looking for industry partners for pre-commercialization, manufacturing, and commercialization. The clinical validation of ETOX NPS is currently funded by DOST, the POCT device for pharmaceuticals, which can be used for the early diagnosis of paracetamol, salicylate, and isoniazid counseling, was recently awarded a partial funding for the first CPH Director's Innovation Grant. The ETOX pharmaceuticals for isoniazid have also undergone organizations taking anti-TB drugs for compliance appearance checking with ISO 90 as the biomarker. We are looking for collaborator and funding for this project. Moreover, the ETOP NPS can also undergo field testing using these materials. We are also looking for collaborator and funding for this project. The new POCT device for new psychoactive substances is a potential screening tool for selected NPS, namely synthetic cathinone, synthetic cannabinoids, and ketamine, using these materials in urine specimens. Timeliness of results, an advantage offered by a POCT device, will give an impact clinically for early diagnosis and management of intoxicated patients, as well as public health and socioeconomic impact of surveillance and monitoring of NPS use in the country. And that is in addition to traditional illicit drugs. Moving forward, the ETOX team would like to recommend the utilization of the ETOX MDS and ETOX pharmaceuticals in UPPGH's National Function Management and Control Center and other function centers in the country for diagnosis and management of poison patients. Likewise, inclusion of NPS in the screening panel for use in emergency toxicology as well as part of the workplace drug testing policy in the future, and even its use in the screening of these materials by law enforcement agencies. Let me end with this presentation by acknowledging the people behind the COCT device, the ETOX team who made this project successful despite the challenges met since we started this project during the height of the pandemic. My co-investigators, Dr. Timmy and Professor Johnson, our research assistants, Gabby, Greg, Jessa, and Carl. Allow me also to give our utmost gratitude to Dangerous Drugs Board for funding this project and trusting the ETOX team for this endeavor. Also, to the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology of UP College of Medicine, where we conducted all the laboratory work and the laboratory support of UP Durham. With that, thank you very much.
Okay, so that was Dr. Yabes for EPUBs po, no? So, thank you, Doc, for showing the technology that could save more lives because of the early detection. EPUBs keeps on the patient. So, and it is amazing na kung urine ay madedetect mo na if you are overdosed with not only pharmaceutical drugs, but also the new psychoactive drugs. Parang halimbawa, for example, ganito, it's like this, okay, sumakit ulo mo, kasi di ba, karamihan sa atin, parang pagka masakit ang ulo, inumpakan ng gamot, and sa pagkakaalam ko kasi talaga, no, 8 tablets lang ng 500 milligrams na paracetamol ang allowed na inumin sa isang araw. So more than that siguro, sa higher the rate na ng intoxication. And yun nga, hindi lang siya sa paracetamol. So dun na rin sa yung psychoactive drug. So ayun, and bukod sa accurate siya, based dun sa costing, mura pa. Saka hindi sa lahat, ready lahat. Kaya ayun, the floor is now open for questions to Dr. Yabes. If anyone has a question, kindly put it in our chat box or in our Q&A box, or if you want to ask Dr. Yabes live, you may do so. Ayan, so Dr. Eileen, meron pong nagtanong, naka-kit po ba ito? So what are the consumable components of the kit or the device?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for that question. Yes, it's a kit, and the composition cannot be disclosed definitely, but it's already working. And at the moment, we are already have a funding for clinical validation, meaning it will be using patient samples. So the ETOX NPS will be undergoing clinical validation using patient samples from PGH, and the ETOX pharmaceutical got the funding also from PGH's innovation grant, so it will be used also for patient urine samples.
So I think nasagot naman yung tanong ni Doc Yabes. So Doc, meron pa po tayong second question mula sa ating participant. So, is this readily available commercially? So when can we expect this to be available and used by its intended users?
Actually, we're doing the clinical validation, as I have mentioned, and we are now on the stage through the help of TTBDO to look for industry partners who are willing to mass produce this one and be used in the healthcare industry.
Ayan. So, malay natin, no, Doc? Baka isa dito sa mga participants natin, willing talaga to manufacture and to mass produce ito, Kiko. Kasi napakaganda talaga niya. Very promising. Pero Doc, meron pa po tayong next question. So, can other samples like saliva or blood can be used instead of urine?
Mhm. Yeah. For this prototype, we just used drug standards reconstituted in organic solvents and urine. But then the microfluidics of this device is already established, so we can actually use later on for other lattices. But of course, that will necessitate another validation. But again, the device is already capable in terms of microfluidics, containment of reagents for that particular substances, and even possibility to check and be useful also for other biological matrices. For now, it's only for urine, and as I mentioned earlier, it can be also used for seized materials, the one that is being, seized by legal people, the one in the law enforcement agencies, because that was validated. You just have to reconstitute whatever powder that you have collected, and then use the POCT device to test for the presence of the new psychoactive substances.
Okay, so ayan po. Na-clarify na ni Doc. Kaili lang daw po muna. So yung blood sa saliva, abangan na lang natin.
Right.
So ayun Doc, meron po ulit question. So, can this be used with other pharmaceutical substances and psychoactive substances? If yes, what other possible pharmaceutical salts and psychoactive substances can be tested? So, if not, definitely we have plans to expand its application.
Yes, again, as I mentioned earlier, the device, the microfluidics of the device, the containment of the agents, color reactions, and everything are in place. It's already a prototype, and we can definitely uh, expand its utility. The PGH Innovation Grant, we are already including two more substances, paracetamol, isoniazid, and INH, and that is including benzodiazepines and methenamic acid, because based on the NPNCC, the National Poison Management Control Center statistics, these two are also part of the commonly associated pharmaceuticals with poisoning. So yes, it can be expanded. We also have like a pipeline for in the future mycotoxins, marine toxins, and even plant toxins. So it's possible it can be expanded to other substances.
Okay, so yun, no? So, sa ngayon, meron konti pa lang, baka in the near future, baka lahat na ng gamot, matitake na itong device na to. So, thank you so much. So, meron pa tayo last question pala, Doc. So, does the detox have any measuring capabilities for a marker beyond its purpose for detection?
What do you mean? Does it have?
Parang, does it have a marker po na measuring capabilities po ng marker beyond its purpose for detection?
Okay, if I understood the question correctly, if it has a way to measure, yes. If you notice the color swatches towards the bottom of the device, it's actually semi-quantitating the amount. So we did some calibration curves, and then we take note of the color based on the concentration. But our claim is that it is a one qualitative test, but it has a semi-quantitative way of doing it, because the color formation is based on the actual concentrations of the reference drugs that we use during the validation. Yes.
Okay, so I think na-satisfy naman po si ating participant na nagtanong with that very, very, constructive answer po. So, ayan, I think that's all for the talk po, no? So, Doc, may we request you to stay on the floor as you've been awarded, as we want to recognize your technology. So, the certificate is awarded to Dr. Eileen Valdes for her technology presentation of Detox NPS PHX. So I would like Also to invite our Deputy Director, Director Yuri Tejero, and our managers Romeo, Gembao, and Kevin Ocasco to join us in the picture taking and the recognition. So technique, please assist them. So, and for the picture taking, let us all smile. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so ayun po, thank you po again, Bastianes, for accepting our invite po na i-share ang inbox po sa Madla. Thank you po pala. Thank you po so much.
Thank you, TPDPO.
Okay, so meron po pa kayong ibang katanungan? So for additional information about UPM, CBDO, please explore our website at cbdo.upm.edu.ph. You may also visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/UPM or feel free to reach out to us with your inquiries or concerns via email at cbdo.upm@up.edu.ph. So before we head into our short break, let me introduce to you the new project of the UP Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs, the university partnerships with industries and communities to hold innovation and participation, or the project leadership. With their banner program, AMBAG, a platform which facilitates industry academic collaboration. AMBAG aims to connect the industry with experts from the university for more meaningful, productive, and innovative collaboration. AMBAG is a project funded by the UP system under the Emerging Interdisciplinary Research Program, or the EIDR, and is a collaborative effort of a team represented by UP Manila, UP Diliman, and UP Lagban. To know more, let's watch this.
One of the commitment of university nation building lies in solving challenges in industry phase. Our stakeholders have encountered problems beyond their scope, which is reached of experts' interest. It might be from simple training or workshop facilitation, to simple research consultancies, or even law firm projects, from assistance in product development, or until marketing and validation of our technology. It seems like a perfect result of university industry collaboration, but the challenge lies on how we retain the collaborators takes part in this work. The usual questions of where to find experts, who to tap, who can solve our problems, so or even where what our problems are. The project on Valdes currently developing a free online platform to facilitate university industry collaboration. We are actually in the early days of development, and even as of this stage, we're excited to share the vision of how Ambag works. Here's a quick video on what Ambag can do.
Ambag does more than simply connect people. It ignites collaboration to build an industry academic community working together towards innovation. With Ambag as a client, you can share your challenges with us and help you find the right experts. The University of the Philippines has a rich pool of experts from every field: engineering, microbiology, forestry, home economics, chemistry, law, communication, ethnolinguistics, and many more. To guide you in selecting among our think tanks, you can view their profile showing their expertise, work experience, and services. Once you've found your collaborator, simply update and close the challenge. Researchers can browse and view the client's industry challenges. You can personally get in touch with, ask questions, and signify interest to work together and solve these challenges. Ambag helps you, researchers, find your potential collaborators. Together, we can spark innovation. Ambag, making connections that create an impact. Visit Ambag and join our community today.
We developed a platform to provide us with feedback how it works. Just visit Ambag.ap that every the privilege and experience of one. We highly appreciate your feedback, comments, and suggestions so we can make the platform better for you. Remember, we make connections that create impact.
Okay, so that was Ambag, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the project leader of UP Ambag project, Assistant Professor Chief Development of UPLD, DA, and Hey, sir, would you give our audience our message po or
Uh,
more info about Facebook?
okay, again, thank you for allowing us to share yung platform namin. So it's generally a collaboration platform in order for you to match with different clients if in this personnel. Uh, Generally, it's a matching platform. It addresses the needs of who to tap and what opportunities we can have. So at the current moment, we are in the testing stage. So if you have any challenge or if you have any projects or technology which you want to collaborate with, feel free to enter the platform and we'll try to help you solve those problems by connecting with the different experts. So again, thank you. So salamat po. And hopefully you can enter the platform.
Yeah, all right. So that, I think, meron po ba tayong question from our audience? Baka meron ng interesado. Okay, okay. So, ayun, pinost na rin po namin yung website po ng Ambag if you have more questions, feedbacks, comments, and suggestions. So, ayun. So, I think that would be all po. May we call on, thank you po. May I call, wait lang sir, may I call our director, Judy Tejero, and our managers po to turn on their cameras po for a picture taking with the YouTube project on Valdes. Prof. Chief Teknolusugan. Ayan, so taking, this is us. Picture taking with 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, so thank you po, Doc. Thank you po, Prof. From Teknolusugan po. Or you can keep on that. So these platforms will truly benefit anyone at a research sector, command, university, or industry partner. So these might make more researchers and innovations reach the public kasi there will be a bridge that will make networking easy. Parang ito na yung Facebook para sa research. So now, we will be right back for the last part of our event. So let us have a quick 10-minute break and be ready. Day 2, alam nyo na, baka yun ulit yung mga tanong ko. So stick around. Ikaw, Julia. Okay. Ayan, pasensya na. Magmamaidin muna ako, ha. Okay, so going back to our program. So ito na. Ito na yung hinihintay ng mga ating participants simula pa kahapon matapos yung day 1. So yung mga hindi nanalo kahapon, chance nyo na to dahil it's time for the Jimmy's Quiz, Day 2. So ayan, so explain ko ulit yung mechanics para sa mga bago lang po. Ayan. So nag-prepare po kami ng set of questions para sa inyo lahat. So first participant to guess the correct answer wins a prize from us. So paunahan po maglagay ng sagot sa ating chat box. Next team ang mag-check kung sino po ang nauna. And yung mga nanalo na po kahapon, pagbigyan niyo po yung iba. And ito po, dahil kahapon medyo nagiging mabilis yung mga answers natin. Hintayin niyo po yung cue ko pag sinabi kong go. Saka po kayong mag-start sumagot. Lahat po ng sagot before nung cue ko ay hindi po natin tatagdag. Naintindihan po, please thumbs up. Please nag-get po yung rules natin. Kailangan ko makita ng thumbs up sa ating participants bago tayo mag-proceed. Okay, nakakita po ba ako? Okay, so marami na nag-thumbs up, mga 5. Okay, so let's proceed with our game. So for our first question, so what is the last technology presented yesterday? Ready? Go! Okay, may mga sumasagot na po sa ating chat. Nakita po tayo ng Palaya tablet. Okay, clue. Herbal po ito. Okay, so meron na po ata tayong winner. So, ang tamang sagot po ay kaanggubat. So, congratulations po kay Gizar. Gizar? Basta G-E-I-C-Z-A-R. Kay Ross Real na lang. Kay G.R. Real. So, congrats po. Kay team, pakitandaan po kung sino ating winner. So, ang mananalo po pala ng ating sa mga question, mga kawilan, meron po ulit yung video limited edition gear. So for our next question po, what is the meaning of atlas? So clue po, yung first letter po ay augmented. Okay, next. Okay po. Pagbibigay ng, sige, para madali po ha. So, i-type niyo po yung sasabihin ko. Ito po ay augmented teaching, learning. Opo, pagdugtong po. May nagtag na po ba? Like team? So, pabilisan na ito mag-type. So, it is augmented teaching, learning, anatomy. Ano yung S? Yung S ay related po sa computers. Okay, may mga sagot na, pero wala pa rin tamang sagot. Ito ay kabaliktaran ng hardware. So, augmented. Okay, meron na po tayong winner. Congratulations po kay Israel John Marcelo. So, ang namang sagot po ay augmented teaching, learning, anatomy software. Okay, for our next question po. Medyo mahirap pala yun, no? Dapat worth 1,000 yun. So, which of the technologies presented is used for spinal surgery? So, kasama po yung mga technology na na-present kanina sa kakahapon. So, pinresent po siya ni Dr. Bundok. Okay po, yung kompletong sagot po, pwedeng initials lang, or pwedeng yung kung buo po, okay lang. 3 letters. Pwede po yung acronym, 3 letters. So, ayun po, meron na po tayong winner. Congratulations po. Ang tamang sagot po ay ESR or Bundok ESR. So, congratulations po kay Miss Kate Lapido for winning. Okay, question number 4. Who presented the answer on number 3? Ako, nabanggit ko yung sagot kanina. So, sino po yung nag-present ng ating ESR? Okay, meron na po tayong nanalo. Hindi po Bundok, guys, ha? Si Dr. Rafael Bundok. So, may nagsagot po ng people sa mga hindi ko nakakala. Tipo po ang palayan or nickname ni Dr. Rafael Bundok. So, congratulations po kay Ma'am Beth. So, question number 5. Ang bilis pala, number 5 na tayo. So, ito yung mga nakinig kanina. ETOP is a point-of-care testing device for detecting psychoactive substances or pharmaceutical drugs in human urine. True or false? Go. Okay, may nanalo na po tayo. Nanalo po si Danica Honggor. Congratulations po. Tamang sagot ay true. Okay, so for question number 6. Dr. Portia Marcelo is the principal inventor of an all-in-one telemedical device that can check vital signs of patients for data collected, which doctors can access remotely. So what is this technology? Ready, go! Okay, so meron na po tayong winner. Congratulations po to Miss or Mr. Kai Ating or Tuyang No Ramos Izo. Congratulations po dahil tamang sagot ay RX Box. So I believe ito na po yung huli natin na question, no? So, ang Palaya tablet is presented by Dr. Bagawisan. Ang Palaya tablet presented by Dr. Bagawisan is for what disease? So, where we go? So, bigger is better now. So, ayan. So, ano to? Ano disease to? Okay, meron na po tayong winner. Congratulations po kay Miss Gina Empreo. So, talagang ni-specify niya. So, tama. Type 2 diabetes. Okay, so ayun po. I think that's all. Congratulations po sa ating winners. At tayo po yung magpapatuloy na sa ating last part ng ating mga technology shooting.
So thank you, Jimmy, for that mini game. No? I think nanalo sila ng TV video exclusive gear. So,
Limited edition yan.
yeah, limited. So, hintayin nyo na lang yung message ng staff namin. And then they're also asking for your mobile numbers. So we can contact you. Chat nyo na lang or personal message din sa chat. Okay, so let us move on now to the rest of our technology. So, I think tatlo na lang ay dalawa ba? Yung nakita natin text. And our next presenter is Doc Jose D. Nevado Jr. So let's introduce Doc Nevado. Doc Nevado is a graduate of the UP College of Medicine. He took his residency in internal medicine and PhD course proceeding to take his PhD in molecular biology and biotechnology. He's presently a research professor in the Institute of Human Genetics and the National Institute of Health, UP Manila, and a faculty in the UP College of Medicine. His research is focused on common conditions such as heart diseases, diabetes, and infections, including COVID. And now we will talk about one of his inventions, this one, on leptospirosis. Presenting PFI and Delta One, let us all welcome to the floor Dr. Jose Nevado Jr.
Hello.
Hi, Doc. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Okay, naka-screen na lang. Sige.
Okay ba?
So can we start now?
Yes, po, Doc. Yes, po.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to thank and congratulate the UP video organizers for having this event. Kasi this is really important to us because this will extend the awareness of the society of the university's effort to develop helpful technologies. So, good afternoon again. By now, I expect people to know more about the disease that I'm going to discuss. It's called leptospirosis. Okay? Yung sabi nila, sa daga-araw, sa iba sa floods, diba? Yan yung naririnig natin. It's all in the news. Okay, it's rainy season now, and flooding has been a typical occurrence in the Philippines. During typhoons or even in typical sudden downpours, kabukan nangyari kahapon, we have floods. Expectedly, diseases associated with floods increase dramatically, such as leptospirosis. In fact, during severe outbreaks, the numbers may fill up actually yung hospital to the brim. Okay? Like that. Okay? Sa quarter nila, something like that. So, it's really a big burden if there's an outbreak of leptospirosis. And the importance of leptospirosis actually lies on its complications, which could be fatal, deadly. Without treatment, the disease may result to 30% death rate. Even without treatment, the mortality is still very significant. Let me show you that. Uh, what's more about leptospirosis is basically it affects people at the peak of their productive years, usually from 20 years old to 50 years old. Okay. Okay. So I'm sorry for that. Okay. As of 2023, if you're going to look at the news, no, in Philippine Star, it's becoming imperative that leftist sclerosis should be addressed in our country. This Philippine Star, about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, article showed that there's actually an increase, no, uh, as of September 2023 alone, 4,000 plus na yung cases with 11% mortality. So that's high. Even with treatment, that's very high. And the cases are distributed all over the Philippines. So it's a problem in our country. And if you're going to look at the Inquirer, Philippine Star, Philippine News Agency, there's actually a lot of problems right now with leftist sclerosis, especially during rainy months. So besides the Philippines, no, leftist sclerosis is prevalent worldwide, mainly in tropical and subtropical countries, from Southeast Asia to Latin America to Africa to the Caribbean and even Oceania after Australia. So the problem with leftist sclerosis is there is a variable cause. If the cause is almost similar, there's no problem. We expect what will happen. But leftist sclerosis is a surprising disease. It will surprise us eventually. Who's going to get well and is going to die. So in most cases, people get well. But in some cases, people just suddenly deteriorate, even if you are actually speaking to them right now and having a very good conversation. In just a few days, you will doctors get surprised of the deterioration, sudden deterioration. And we know that early recognition of the people who are prone to these complications can lead to more focused monitoring and initiation of preventive strategies. Knowing who will get the problem prevents death. It will lower the cost of either lessen the hospital stay because you are actually preventing the complications, lower intensive care stay, prevent higher cost of treatment, and such as respiratory support and renal support like dialysis. Hence, we are presenting our technology. It is actually an unprecedented technology in which the main feature is the prevention of deadly complications for early prediction with high accuracy because we believe that prevention is safe. You see, when people with leftist sclerosis started vomiting blood or have pulmonary bleed, no, the mortality can go as high as 80%. So we need to, for example, predict that is going to do and prevent that from happening. Uh, the technology is developed in UP Manila with support from the Department of Science and Technology, and it's actually a molecular test quantifying human proteins and response to the infection. It's basically similar to, as you can see in the picture, it's basically similar to a COVID test, but it detects certain molecules in our body, or these are human molecules. The market size is substantial. So the reported number of leftist sclerosis is 1 million all over the world. However, it is so underreported that the estimate is that there are actually 3 times more that are not reported. So, so the potential market worldwide is about 4 million. However, if we're going to limit ourselves to Southeast Asia alone, it's actually the potential uh, initial jumping point. We have 200,000, meaning that will be that include the Southeast Asia country and Oceania, and 30K reachable market, considering that we will reach only a portion of this market. That's the in the Samaraya. The main argument here is that the main market will be the government because the government usually using a universal health care will try to maximize its resources during outbreaks. So by using this kit, the government can actually triage using its own money people who needs help and prioritize them for specialized care. No, so That's the point of this technology. But that doesn't prevent other markets like the doctors, hospitals, and even individuals from availing of the services or the products. So here's the thing. There's no other current technology in the market that could predict the complications of leptospirosis. Don't confuse the technology from a detection of leptospirosis, detector of leptospirosis. It is not. It is actually a predictor is going to get worse. And it's so new that we obtained a patent already for this last 2022 in PH and abroad. And these are provided patent already, approved patent already. Our unique value proposition is that it is, if you avail of the technology, it is the first in-market technology, sabihin walang kalaban, in which the government might be interested. The current status is that we already have the prototype uh, because we know that we optimized the procedure already, and we already validated this in two sets of independent set of patients. So the next step would be FDA registration, expansion with the diagnostic companion device, development of cheaper point of care counterpart devices, expansion to other diseases, uh, and optimization of preemptive care treatment. We're actually doing a very big clinical trial right now on ways how to prevent death and leptospirosis because we know they are actually going to get worse. So if you're interested, we're looking for partners to manufacture or distribute the technology in the Philippines or any other country. Uh, and we are also seeking research and development partners. So if if you want to contact us and know more, please contact the UT Manila TTVDO for more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vado, for that presentation. A very brilliant innovation presentation from Dr. Vado. Actually, for lepto, this is very common in the Philippines. Yung sabi ko, there is contamination of the rainwater because laging binabaha dito. Kasi yung binabaha dito sa Manila. Ako. So the symptoms are usually mistaken for other diseases. So ibig sabihin mo, i-diagnose, no? I think halos flu-like flu the doc, yung parang may flu ka lang, hindi mo alam kung magiging deadly na ba yung lepto mo or and then what if, no, pag nalaman mo na may lepto ka, deadly na yung stage. So, nakita ko din, based on online courses, parang 20,000 pesos yung gagastusin mo for your lepto treatment pagka malala na siya. So,
Pero yan pa lang yung one, ha? Yan pa lang yung regular na hindi ka malalang manla. For example, it could go as high as, for example, I will study right now sa NATI. If you undergo extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, sabihin yung lung machine, di ba may heart machine, lung machine, the PhilHealth uh, provides for half of the pondo ng ECMO, which is around 750,000 to 500,000. Sabihin 1.5 million yung one procedure, nakagabuhan yung pasyente doon. So, other thing, kung magiging mahal pa yan, pag nangyari meron ka ICU stay, at saka kung meron ka pang, like, the regular lang naman, nagka-ICU stay yung iba nagda-dialysis, right? Or nagkakaroon, nabibigit sa ventilator, diba? At even then, despite that, mataas pa rin yung mortality.
So this innovation, parang talaga ito sa mga kababayan natin dito. Siyempre, meron din tayong minimum daily needs para sa mga ordinaryong Pilipino. So, paano nila ma-afford yung ganun kalaking presyo ng leptospirosis treatment? So, definitely, Dr. Nevado's first to market technology hereby and therefore for the early prediction of leptospirosis, so definitely prevent both deadly complications and expensive cost of treatment. So ngayon, let us entertain the questions from the floor. Okay, let's wait for the participants to send in their questions to Dr. Valdes. Okay, I think merong sabi na, is this gift or is this also applicable to anime? And if yes, this is already validated to be in
Well, tama ka, leptospirosis. Most of the inventions sa leptospirosis, even vaccines, no, are actually directed toward animals. Siyempre, gloves mo sa mga pets mo. Magkakaroon sila ng lepto. Marami nakalepto rin ng mga animals. We haven't tried it yet. It's a good collaboration for research, actually for extension, veterinary. In fact, doon sa aming patent is in-extend namin yung coverage to veterinary use. We actually are foreseeing animals that are prone to complications of leptospirosis, especially dogs, no? At saka, uh, at saka usually na hamsters ganun din eh. Nakikita lang yung pareho-pareho sila ng tao eh. Kaya model sila ng leptospirosis. So it could be actually. But we haven't studied that yet.
but it's included in the pattern. So if you'd like mga partners na more on animal medicine, um, patok lang kayo dito sa PCB. Another question, no? Um, do you see this technology to be self-administered or dapat accompanied by physicians? Like yung mga COVID test kit na nabili ko sa Mercury Drug, mahirap ba siyang i-administer? Dapat kailangan ko may physician.
I agree with you at the moment ngayon kasi we found this using a PCR platform. So, kailangan mo ng machine para specialize. However, we are doing an ELISA. We did this ELISA test. Yung parang labas na rin is lateral flow assay. Yung parang antigen test natin ngayon. No? And it actually works also near. So, feeling namin we can actually develop. We developed a prototype in a qPCR, but we are trying to develop actually a prototype either in a point of care fashion, parang antigen test na lang. So it's either na mag-antibody based kami tulad ng antigen test or number two, ang isa sa mga tinupuntahan namin ngayon is molecular imprinted polymers. So parang kahit na yung sa pinakaliglig na po, kaya nilang gamitin. Pero those are for development. Yun yung next. Sa sabi ko sa iyo na future direction is yung point of care devices. Yun yun.
Yes. Okay. So another question, what type of platform or quantifying techniques is the currently available type of the DZXL predictor is the PCR test kit version available?
It is actually optimized and prototype na. Kaso nga lang, we need people to mass produce it. Actually. We already know the qPCR cutoffs equations, but we parang alam na namin yung cutoffs, alam na namin yung procedures, kailangan namin ng partners to mass produce it or to event. Pero we need to register the FDA. That's the first thing.
Yes. So, hello mga partners dyan. I-contact nyo kami. Ito na, kailangan natin dito, lalo na dito sa Manila. And so, I think, ako curious ako, Doc, ano ba yung pinatest dito na sample? Saliva, blood, urine?
For the blood, hindi lang yung sharing ng blood kasi simple. Kailangan yung white blood cells. Kasi sila yung merong sila yung lumalabas sa katawan natin. So you have to separate the white blood cell first. Madali na lang siya, mga 10 minutes. Tapos, after that, you go for the usual qPCR. Hindi yung buong blood. Pero yung ELISA kit namin, yung ELISA version namin, kahit na sira lang, alam mo yun, the usual na antigen test na. Kaya mas mura siya kasi mas madali siya i-test. Hindi mo na kailangan ng additional thing. Kahit nga normal na tao, ay basta alam nila, may wala nila yung party ng dugo na may lagay nila doon okay na sa ELISA test. Doon binabalita pa namin yun. So ongoing.
I just know clarification. Yung current prototype natin is PCR type.
PCR.
With the current or the available clinical validation, as you said,
Uh,
this can already be registered with FDA.
yes, siguro palagay ko, we can actually attempt kasi ito mayroon sa validation. Two sets of patients na ito na pa rin. Though yung, iba sila ng platform, microarray, saka qPCR. Ito sila. Yung qPCR is actually validated na microarray. And vice versa.
And in development pa yung lateral flow natin and the other type of test kits, that's correct?
That's correct. We're actually trying to do inahabol natin lahat ng mga ganun mga bagay ngayon on board lahat. So it's a continuous development.
Great.
Yeah, so we really need the investors to come in para ma-push na natin itong tech na ito sa
But
market.
remember, the market are the governments,
Yes,
It's not the individual, but the government.
for the government para sa i-roll out nila ito sa ating mga patients. Yeah, para mag-develop pa ito on board that we take yung medical patient. So, meron pa bang questions from our room? Ay po, ayun.
You go ahead.
Ayun, so sabi po ni Sir Patrick Propel, good afternoon, Doc. Between giving prophylactic doxycycline and early detection, which would be more beneficial in terms of cost effectiveness and mortality?
Well, giving doxycycline, nakaka-prevent siya ng sakit, however, marami pa rin nakakalusot eh. Feeling ko marami nagpo-prophylaxis sa mga ganito, pero ang record numbers yung ating mga lento ngayong year nito. So, feeling ko, it will be there always, yung mga magkakasakit. Yung prophylaxis natin kasi is primary prevention. Wala sa pasyente, kasi meron death natin. This one is secondary prevention. Nakasakit yung pasyente, pero ayaw natin magkaroon ng komplikasyon. So, early detection kasi yung cause sa complication. So, kasi ang nangyayari kasi, natutuloy yung mga hospitals, sa kayo pa, hindi mo alam kung sino gagamutin mo. Pati mga doktor kinakapos kumisa, di ba? So, technically, kailangan kaso ng gobyerno kung sino yung bibigyan nila ng. At kunyari, may mga pagbabayan tayo na ang nangyayari is basically hindi ang tela kung natanggapin natin o hindi. Marami ako nakita pinapa-uwi. Tapos, naka-prostrate kasi pag nila is agong buhay na sila. So, it's really hard to, mas walang basihan. And the accuracy of this test, kada sabihin natin hindi pa sila balala, you can have a very high. Halos lahat ng mga nakita namin normal yung level ng normal yung test, hindi sila kakaroon ng complication masyado. Ang problema yung merong mababa talaga.
So, para ito talaga sa gobyerno na matulungan tayo sa early detection in diabetes. Para ma-prioritize nila kung ano yung dapat unahin ng mga pasyente kasi may makapauwi. Our hospitals have limited capacity. Okay, so thank you, Sir Patrick, for that question. So, do we have any more questions from the Zoom chat? Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Vado, for that brilliant presentation, no, and changes. So, stay on, because we'd like to recognize you for your presentation for insight and recommend better services to you. So,
Thank you.
I'd like to award gift certificate, okay, for your technology presentation today. So we'd like to invite our director, Dr. Harry Estero, and our manager, a quick presentation. Okay, let's mark for the camera. 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay na ba? So thank you so much, Dr. Vado, for
Salamat. Opo.
making us get
Good luck, Joel.
Opo. Maraming salamat, Sir Tito. Marami tayong gagawin.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you po, Doc Joel again for CFI DEPA. So let's move on to our next technology. Computer. So So ayan, pag tayo natapos, dalawa na lang. So time to meet our next presenter. For our fifth technology, we have our former OIC Director Professor, Dr. Jen Balotro. So let us all welcome. So let us all welcome Jen.
I am Associate Professor Benvenido S. Balotro from the College of Pharmacy, and I am honored to present our technology anti-hyperglycemic tablets from standardized herbal extracts. Diabetes mellitus, or type 2 diabetes, remains to be a top cause of mortality in the country. It affects Filipinos from all walks of life. Take the case of Marisa, a 45-year-old market vendor. Because of her fondness for sweets, that is probably one of the reasons, aside from family history of the disease, she has contracted type 2 diabetes. Her blood sugar level is about normal. She has been taking anti-diabetic medications prescribed by her physician. But because of her meager income, daily medication is a financial burden for her. The Philippines still ranks fifth in the Western Pacific region for incidence of diabetes. From the year-to-year data, we see that diabetes is a growing health concern and has become today the fourth leading cause of mortality in the country. This prevalence of the disease provides an opportunity for a sustainable market for anti-hyperglycemic medications. Patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus are often initially treated with diet and exercise. If those measures are not sufficient for glycemic control, patients may be prescribed oral anti-hyperglycemic drugs. Injectable glucagon-like peptides, GLP-1 receptor agonists, insulin, or a combination of these drugs. These drugs are used for management of diabetes, presenting different mechanisms of action and involving different organ systems of the body. A number of health supplements are also used for the control of diabetes. They may not be necessarily cheap. The most popular of them are seen on this slide, with the unit price per tablet or capsule. The market forecast for supplements for the period of 2022 to 2030 by Sports Research shows that the market of diabetes supplements is anticipated to grow with a compound annual growth rate of 10.3%. Our technology is for tablets from standardized herbal extracts with anti-hyperglycemic activity. The herbal extracts have been tested for physical chemical and microbial unit and passed the safety and efficacy tests. These products have already been filed for IP protection as utility models and as patent. The herbal tablets provide daily supplementation for the control of diabetes through the inhibition of alpha-glucosidase enzyme, thus delaying carbohydrate digestion time and reducing the rate of glucose absorption. This technology is ready for scale-up herbal tablet production. Preclinical and clinical study to develop the products further into herbal supplements and possibly as herbal drugs will be an advantage. Hence, we are looking for R&D partners, collaborators, and or co-investors who would like to conduct further preclinical and or clinical studies on the product to develop the herbal extracts into herbal supplements or herbal drugs respectively through research agreements and technology transfer via licensing agreement. Thank you for listening.
All right, so that was Jen Balotro for Teknolusugan anti-diabetes tablet. So ayan, ayun na si Sir Bien sa ating virtual floor. So if you have any questions to Sir Bien, please raise your hand or type lang sa ating chat box. Ayun, by the way, Sir Bien, thank you po ulit sa pagpapa-unlock ng aming paanyaya na kita ninyo ang bayan.
Thank you then for the invitation.
Actually, ano sir, ano tawag dito? parang nilulat niyo yung mata namin na parang hindi lang talaga ang pala yung for diabetes. Parang marami pang pwedeng alternatibong herbal plant na meron potential to treat the core unique cause of diabetes, is yun nga yung diabetes. Tsaka, and it shows na kung gaano kayaman yung ating bansa to have this endemic plant. So ayun, para lang sa kaalaman ng lahat, pakicorrect na lang din ako kung tama. Ito ay based lang din sa nahanap ko. According kay IUCN, or the International Union for Conservation of Nature, so meron tayong 111 medicinal plants distributed in 98 genera and 49 families used to address 82 areas in 17 disease categories. So, sa 109 na yun, 109 na identified up to species level, 74% are non-native, 26% are native, and 7% of the native species are endemic na dito sa Philippines. So, ayan. Meron pa, siguro, kung ilan yung book, survey yung, yung endemic plants, meron pa. So, sana yung 111 na yun, talagang makasama lahat pwede sa diabetes. So, ayan, meron na po ata tayong question from our audience. So, ito po, Sir Jen, are there plans for the tablets to have therapeutic claims like medicines? So, how long should we wait for this to be commercially available?
Yes, there are plans kasi yung halaman na pinag-aralan namin for herbal preparations, in particular for anti-diabetes, ay part ng Teknolusugan programs at possible na matuloy yung program for the preclinical and clinical study. In that case, develop yung knowledge dun sa products to make them herbal supplements or possibly herbal drugs kung papasa sa mga clinical trials. So,
May yan po.
Ayun, gusto ko lang i-point out na yung recent class kanina yung about ampalaya tablet is ang difference ng ampalaya tablet is that it is already an herbal drug. Yung mga herbal formulations under Teknolusugan in particular are still under study for possible herbal supplements and kung mapasa-pasa sa clinical trials with the herbal medicines.
So, ayan po. Clarify ko dyan. So far, yung ating mga herbal extracts ay for supplements pa lang. So, depende sa magiging resulta ng clinical trials kung magkakaroon tayo ng therapeutic guidelines. So, ayan. Sir Jen, meron pa po tayong isang tanong. So, what are the plant sources of the extract with anti-hyperglycemic activity?
Yeah, ganda ko pwede ko because the foreign kasi.
Yeah. So bawal daw pong i-reveal. So kung gusto niyo pong malaman yung mga plants na yon, so maaari lamang po ay pumunta kayo sa aming opisina, mag-usap tayo, magpirmahan po tayo ng non-disclosure form para po ibigay ni Sir Jen yung mga halaman na yon. Okay, so nasagot po yung tanong ng ating participant na yon. Okay. So, Sir Jen, meron pa po tayong question. So, are there plans in isolating and identifying the main active ingredient in the extract?
Yeah, that's plunging din sa Teknolusugan program na kung mag-prove talaga na meron potent anti-diabetic effects yung mga plants that will be developed into medicines, ay magiging part na rin ng study yung isolation identification. Yung potent active principles at ma-formulate mo yung mismo active principles into drugs. At only the standard extracts.
Okay, so ayun. So, merong plans, guys. You just have to, pero parang ito na yung follow-up question nun, Sir Jen. So, what additional studies do we need to market this supplement? This as supplement, so how much investment? Kaya ayun ko na. Sir Jen.
Yun nga yung para maging supplements siguro accomplish lang yung mga preclinical studies which will involve yung further safety tests ng mga herbal plants. From there, pwede na siyang mag-commercialize, meron sound basis for marketing the product.
Ayun, no? So, siguro nga din, siguro sir, no, for additional investment, no? So, ulit tayo sa mga industry partners natin na nandito sa ating Zoom meeting room. So, baka naman, sana makipag-usap na after o kahit pagkatapos. So, kahit yung makipag-usap kayo sa amin. So, ayan po. So, meron tayo last question na siguro sa so, why did the team focus on the formulation of the tablets instead of the formulations like syrups and capsules?
The tablets yung naging focus ng study kasi initially we thought of formulating into capsules pero yung result ng study ay hindi stable in capsule form yung standardized extract. So siguro further development pa, hindi naman final yung result na yun, but yung mga initial results na favorable to formulating into capsules, kaya yung tablets ang ginamit. But it can also be formulated into liquid formulations.
Okay, so I think yun na nga po ang sagot sa ating tanong. So ayan, if there are no more questions, I would like to request again to fill on the floor. So as we will recognize, we'd like to recognize you for presenting Tuklas Lunas for an IDM tablet. So ayan, so may I call on our director, Dr. Ludgehero, and our managers, Sir Sito Kiambao and Sir Kevin, to join us for the picture taking and recognition. As this certificate is awarded to Dr. Jen Banotro for his technology presentation of the Plasmina anti-diabetes tablet. Ayan, picture taking tayo. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Bali sir, itama na po natin yung award nyo for delivering the opening remarks earlier. Okay. And the 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, sir. Thank you po, Sir Jen.
Thank you, Sir Jen.
Sir Jen, congratulations at Katipunan 2020.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jen, for that presentation and great presentation. Now, let us move on to our last technology presentation. Our last presenter will be perform the five Java for system, urban computation service. Dr. Casulata is associate professor at the University of the Philippines College of Public Health. He graduated magna cum laude in 2012 with a Bales Biology degree from the Institute of Biology, College of Science, UP Diliman. He pursued higher education at the Youth College of Medicine, where she obtained a double degree, Doctor of Medicine, PhD in Molecular Medicine. In 2019, she was awarded the Dr. Adolfo de los Rio Academic Excellence Award for the most outstanding MBA graduate. For her PhD dissertation, she trained and worked as a visiting foreign research scholar under the supervision of Dr. Takahashi Okamoto at Nagoya City University, Japan. She did research work on human immunodeficiency, virus, HIV drug discovery. Dr. Vikas Sinata is currently the principal investigator of the Virology Laboratory of the Department of Medical Microbiology in UPCPH. Her laboratory is actively involved in monitoring of HIV, human papillomavirus, adenoviruses, flaviviruses, and SARS-CoV-2. Apart from being a researcher and academician, Dr. Vikas Sinata is also a physician who is involved in non-government organizations to offer primary care in rural and low-resource settings. So let us all welcome to the virtual floor Dr. Shiraya B. Kyle Silava.
Good day, everyone.
It is my pleasure to present to you a natural product for treatment of HIV infection. I'm Dr. Shiraya Lady Silava, an associate professor and the virology laboratory manager from the UP College of Public Health. HIV/AIDS has been a long-time global epidemic since its discovery in the 1980s. 1,726 die from AIDS every day, including children. In the Philippines, 52 new cases of HIV infection are diagnosed daily. While the incidence around the globe is decreasing, the incidence in the Philippines has been exponentially increasing in the past decade. One of the challenges in HIV is the persistence of resting cells or latently infected cells. This viral reservoir of latently infected cells are silent, hidden, and live long, but may potentially activate and produce viruses again. The presence of this reservoir is the reason why up until now there is no cure for HIV. Hence, the number of people living with HIV continues to increase and add up, leading to a total of almost 39 million people living with HIV around the world. Antiretroviral treatment is the current mainstay for management of HIV. Unfortunately, approximately 10% of these patients would develop drug resistance with limited options for second line and third line regimen. Moreover, the current ART targets cells that are activated, and there is no drug that targets the viral reservoir of latently infected cells. Finally, of all available therapy, there is no drug that targets the gene expression steps or the steps in the viral replication cycle that amplifies viruses and resistant clones. Hence, we present our innovation, a natural product coming from the Philippine Sampung Halamang Gamot, which targets virus production and amplification. It also acts by silencing latently infected cells to keep them from producing viruses, a treatment strategy often called as functional cure. Our experiments show that treatment with this medicinal plant can decrease HIV production to almost zero levels after 24 hours of treatment. Our team has also started isolating and identifying potential bioactive compounds through liquid chromatography and mass spectrometry. The patent application for the methods of extraction was filed in 2020. We already received the notice of allowance and we are waiting the issuance of the patent certificate. Our next steps include a patent application for the identified active compounds, in vivo studies in animal models, and subsequent clinical trials. We are looking for collaborators and funding for animal studies and clinical trials, for pharmacokinetic studies, and for studies on drug formulation. Thank you very much, and I hope you get interested with this technology.
Hello, so thank you so much, Doc Aya, for that groundbreaking technology presentation. Um, Doc Aya from the college public health. Uh, Thank you so much for gracing us with this session. So imagine 52 cases of HIV infection araw-araw dito sa Pilipinas. So, and it's increasing. From what I know, what the HIV patients do right now is go into a lifetime intake of therapeutic drugs na ang tina-target lang ng drug na yun is yung activated cells. So, yung resting hidden lattice viral reservoir natin fails to see. So, with Doc Aya's innovation with the natural product, can target this hidden cells and decrease HIV production to almost zero levels in just 1 day. Okay, so to further clarify that, no, later, so we'll wait for questions for Doc Aya. So if you have questions for Doc Aya regarding this really innovative technology, please send it to the chat so we can attend to it. Okay. So, sorry, Dok, may nakita kaming tanong. Sabi niya kasi, hi, Doc, good afternoon. HIV has no cure, sabi nila. Does this invention mean na curable na ang HIV? And how do you see this being used in therapy, drug therapy again? Should it be used alongside the drugs to treat the activated form?
Ano ulit yung first question, ma'am? As a cure. Okay, so in cure research po, so currently po, yung trend of HIV is already in cure research. And there are three main approaches to that. The first one is gene editing. The problem with gene editing is yung drug delivery and yung specificity, how do you really make sure na HIV lang yung ini-edit niya, hindi ma-affected yung the rest of your team. The second po is the shock and kill approach. Yung shock and kill, it's also a trend. So, ang ginagawa nila, yung mga silent, bubuhayin nila. Tapos pagkabuhay ng mga silent, papatayin nila. So, ito actually ang mas maraming nag-research yung shock and kill approach. Kasi yung mga tulog gusto mong buhayin para patayin. The problem lang po with the shock and kill approach is hindi, ang hirap po na yung mga infected cells lang yung bubuhayin mo. So what happens sa shock and kill, parang yung buong immune system, sometimes yung na-activate. At kung ma-activate mo yung buong immune system, ang resulta nun, parang autoimmune disease, tulad ng lupus, mga ganang mga sakit. Parang in-activate mo lahat. The third approach is called silencing. Ito po yung tinatawag na functional cure. So, hindi niya po tatanggalin, hindi niya matatanggal yung mga latent cells. Pero ang gagawin niya, papatahimikin na sila para hindi na sila mag-produce ng virus. Kung mag-ising na sila, maging active sila, hindi sila producing ng virus. So, yung third po, actually in our laboratory, we're also going to do another research on fact and scale na naman gagawin namin. Ito na ay aming research na nasa third approach. So we're doing multiple researches and we're trying these two approaches. So ang current innovation that we have is yun po yung sa silent sleep. So it's going to be, hindi siya cure na titigil ka na magagamutan, pero functional cure yung tawag niya. Kasi yung mga cells na merong nag-harbor ng virus, they will be silent. So, hindi din po siya, ibig sabihin, hindi pa po natin alam anong mangyayari sa clinical level kasi we are still going to do that. But you foresee that as something that you will take alongside yung current version. So, there is a possibility that it will also be a lifetime treatment. But regardless, ngayon, no, yung mga nagla-lifetime treatment, we are seeing na mga patients natin ngayon, kumahaba na yung buhay nila kasi tumatanda na sila like us. Usually, pag faithful tayo sa gamot. So, we see it as an adjunct or an addition to the current treatment. Minsan kasi yung mga tinatawag natin mga latently infected cells, sila yung nag-produce ng virus na super konti. So, nag-trigger din ng immune system na. So, dahil sa sobrang trigger ng immune system mo for a long time, nagkakaroon ng mga complications later like technologic or metabolic complications. So, you want to suppress sila to a level na you both activated at kahit yung mga latent cells na nandyan na pwede mo mag-activate ay nag-silence natin sila for a longer period of time. And interestingly ko, just to add, there have been some studies also with mga case reports in China ng mga herbal medications na they only took Chinese traditional herbs so meron silang viral suppression for a long time. So the natural product, the world of the natural product is really a very interesting place to also look for mga therapy or cure. Para doon naman sa shock and kill na innovation, sa kanilang po.
Dok, ito, may side effects po siya.
Itong natural product that we have is ano siya, under siya sa 10 halamang gamot. So basically, it's been recognized as something na you can just take na meron kang historical records of safety. So we do not anticipate a lot of side effects po kasi ginagamit sa even sa mga communities natin. Yun nga, kaya siya recognized ng DOH as one of the successful na.
Okay, thank you for answering our questions, Prof. Meron pa dito, what's the difference between type 1 and type 2 HIV? Can your technology also address type 2 HIV?
So yung ginamit po namin na model no, for HIV is yung type 1, which is more common. For type 2, we did not test for that yet as of now, but we anticipate that potentially meron din siyang effect. But we do not have the data to prove that yet. Kasi the model that we're using is for HIV-1, which is more common. Nasa epidemic dito sa world.
Meron pala tayong question from chat. I'm not sure if yung question to ay on side effects. Pero from Miss Victor Ross Villar, what would be the possible side effects of the potential drug, though kanina parang minimal? Since the ARC right now, which is ELD, has minimal side effects. So, can you expound on that?
I think same lang po sa sinagot natin. We do not anticipate a lot of side effects. Pero we cannot commit to that no, until we get really to the clinical trial to demonstrate kung ano nga.
Bali Doc, we're waiting for funding opportunities or have we found funding opportunities for this?
Meron po kami mga ongoing studies funded by POST. So, meron na po kami mass spec data, meron na kami mga nakuha structures ng mga active components namin. But that's going to be a separate patent, no, the purified or the active compounds. Meron ding ongoing POST for the mechanism of action naman na project. But where we are, yung biggest need namin is to get to the preclinical ng animal models. Hindi po ako vet, pero na-dis ako ng human. So, hindi po ako marunong mag-handle ng animal models, especially HIV-infected animal models. So, I think in the Philippine setting, I also do not know personally no, an institution na meron biosafety level na animal lab na pwedeng mag-handle ng HIV-infected animals. I can only imagine how hard it's gonna be kasi baka kagabing ng HIV-infected. So, yung mga ganun, ako personally, hindi ko siya kayang gawin. So, we're looking for collaborators, veterinary scientists probably, na may animal house or biosafety level enough to handle animal studies. Because we want to see if in vivo, we will still see the bioactivity that we have in vitro. So I think yun po yung bottleneck namin before we can get to the clinical trial.
Okay, so I hope that answers the question of Sir Data Gross. So, Sir Patrick, from kanina din, Sir Patrick is asking, with the potential product be a tablet or extract, what is better first to be used?
I think tablet to eventually. I foresee it as a tablet based on its form, its current form. Yeah. Pero hindi ko pa masasabi because we haven't done to that stage. Yun, isa po yun sa mga needs namin, yung formulation, hindi rin po ako pharmacologist. So, meron din po ako, yun po yung mga, some of the things na personally, hindi ko po kayang gawin. Kaya, so we're looking for collaborators who might want to explore on this. What is the lead component? Hindi ko po ito pwede sabihin. We have identified na po some compounds and alam na po namin yung class of compounds that are responsible for the bioactivity kasi meron na po kaming verification project na ongoing. But that's going to be another patent that we might have to find soon.
question also from an anonymous participant. What is the actual mechanism of this medicinal plant? Does it target specific enzymes?
Okay, so the data that we have is we already looked at the NF-kappa pathway. So that pathway is the pathway before the activation of the cell. So we already ruled that out. So ibig sabihin po, hindi po siya prior to gene expression. So the gene expression step, that is the step na dumadami yung viruses kasi dyan parang photocopy yung DNA ng viruses para dumami sila. So the gene expression step, uh, lahat ng steps prior to that, we already ruled that out. The current project that we have is we're looking at activation of gene expression. We already ruled out activation actually. So medyo papunta na po kami pero nandito na kami sa downstream steps. But our initial data has shown that it is targeting gene expression. We just can't identify yet what is that protein. And yan po yung isang ongoing DOST project that we have. It's going to run for 2 years. It just started. And we're looking at the steps from the level of the RNA to the protein and even up to the enzyme in maturation. So yun po yung current project that we have. Uh, so yun po, generally, yung steps that you're able to identify. But the exact enzyme, we are yet to find out um, dito sa current project namin. We're also doing some in silico work. So I have chemists in my team and we're trying to, dock through computer simulations the compounds that we have to HIV compounds. Mataas po kasi yung specificity ratio coefficient. So may ulan po siya masyadong cytotoxicity. 100% po halos yung cell viability namin sa treated versus untreated. So makita mo na buhay yung mga cells pero mababa yung virus. So we believe that is really specific to the virus kasi hindi nawala yung virus dahil namatay yung cell. Buhay silang lahat pero kumawala yung virus. So we think that is probably either a host or a viral protein na very essential in the replication process sa gene expression step. So we're looking onto that and even mga molecular dynamics experiments in silico. We're also looking into that. We'll update you once we have results.
Okay, so thank you so much for someone asking questions. So, meron po bang follow-up question? Ako personally, Doc, can I ask ko, pag kami dumating na industry partner, bibilis ba yung proseso natin na magawa na yung gamot agad? That's why we're waiting for the industry partner.
Ay,
Will
Dok,
you have, yeah, so I think Christina is asking something.
yeah, Dok, yeah, we discussed before, we are open to R&D collaboration. And yeah, we're open to the pharmaceutical companies there. So we're very open to that. Doc, what specific? I believe it's just the animal testing, which is urgent.
Yes po, that's the bottleneck that we have before we can go to clinical trials. Kasi we have to demonstrate an animal model in vivo that it works. I already consulted with some of the scientists we have here. And yun po talaga yung advice. We need to do animal testing before we go to clinical testing. So doon po kami nasa staff. Kasi when there is a mag-action research can be done later. Yes. The important is to demonstrate efficacy. So yun po yung pinaka-need na.
Okay, thank you for the question. Also, do you have any last question for our last presenter? Okay, so I think that is all. So, really thank you for bringing us your presence today. So now, please stay online. We will be awarding you a certificate of appreciation. So Thank you, Dr. So let's take a picture to commemorate this event. Okay, let's just wait for our manager. There we go. So, one, two, three. I think okay na, text me, no? Yeah, so, thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you, Dakaya.
Thank you po, thank you po.
Thank you po, Dakaya. Thank you po. And thank you rin po sa lahat ng ating mga presenters. So as we are towards the end of our event, or to the event, we would like to thank all of our presenters since day one, as they were generous enough to share and impart their knowledge despite of their very, very tight schedule. So, ayan, salamat po sa pagkakaunlak ulit ng aming mga invitasyon.
Yeah, and we hope you found this event's presentations informative and useful. And we also look forward to you applying all the learnings in this webinar as we make significant contributions to the development and improvement of the lives of the general public throughout the country. So, mag-message na kayo. Explore nyo na ang aming kaka-outdate lang na website. Nandun pa lahat ng details, babasahin nyo na lang kung paano na-release out ng CCTV. So to formally end our Teknolusugan 2023, let us hear a closing message from Vice Chancellor for Research, Dr. Edward Bond.
So, Dr. Edward Wang is Vice Chancellor for Research and Professor of Archivido at the University of Larouche, also a university scientist and chair of the Committee on Research Integrity. So, he leads the UPC Ball or the UP Surgical Innovation and Biotechnology Laboratory, Biomedical Device Development Program, and is convener of the Philippine and the UP Manila Sarcoma Consortium. So Dr. Wang has authorized and co-authored 73 scientific and technical publications, including the book Bone Tumors in Philippines. So he is also the editor of the J of Bone and Joint Surgeon OA, an American, and manuscript editor of the Malaysian or ASEAN or Orthod Journal. So he is an active member of the ASEAN Orthod Association Research Society and the East Asia Musculoskeletal Oncology Group. So Dr. Wang is an academician of the National Academy of Science and Technology Philippines. So ayun, busy one really wanted to attend our event, but unfortunately, we will not be able to attend today, so he prepared a video for his closing remarks. So let us hear it from our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Edward Wang.
Good afternoon, everyone. We come to the end of another Teknolusugan activity. Congratulations to all of our innovators and inventors. We have seen this population of UP Manila constituents gradually increase over the past years, with the products reflective of both the need and the creative geniuses of our community. Don't be fooled by the seemingly easy presentation of only a few minutes or a few slides. Remember, they are the experts, but also remember the months and even years of difficult preparation and work that went into each of these outstanding products we saw in the last 2 days. Two concepts are highlighted by our inventors: the concept of innovation and the concept of collaboration. Our inventors, working in the UP Manila, saw a need and a chance to improve the status quo. Using local experience, expertise, and equipment, they innovated, produced, reviewed, and improved their products. And none of these were achieved by a single person. They harnessed the spirit of collaboration, working with experts in different disciplines to define and refine their end product. The message I give cannot be complete without recognizing the Teknolusugan, an activity which is almost synonymous with the UP Manila TPBDO and a reflection of the seek, secure, and scale to serve goals of the TPBDO. Truly, the UP Manila is lucky to have one of the hardest working TPBDO units in the UP system. And I say this from personal experience. Having the UP Manila TPBDO with you from the very start is essential for all of our innovators and inventors in the UP Manila, because they will help you secure your intellectual property, your patents, and they will, like today, help you scale up and hopefully commercialize. And I must say, this they do despite the limited resources within which they work, still adhering to the strict rules, merging both market forces and our commitment to scientific evidence. Finally, allow me to thank the industry partners who are here today with us. You form an essential part of the health technology innovation ecosystem we work in. In the Philippines, several initiatives have been undertaken by our government to incentivize locally made products. The Constitution of our country mandates that the state prioritize research and development, invention, innovation, and their utilization. RA number 11293 or the Innovation Act, RA number 11337 or the Innovative Startup Act. Both of these provide benefits, incentives, and other forms of support for startups to foster an innovative and entrepreneurial culture in the Philippines. Most recently, there has been the launch of the National Innovation Agenda. These laws, Republic Acts, and agenda mean nothing unless government, research and development institutes, and most especially you, our industry partners, work in harmony. So our deep gratitude for attending the Teknolusugan and hopefully for carrying these partnerships forward. So the past 2 days have been the initial important steps towards this combined effort so that eventually we can make sure our researches and innovations benefit the end users for which they were meant, the Filipino people. Thank you and congratulations again to our industry friends, our outstanding UP Manila inventors and innovators, and of course, our beloved UP Manila TTPDO. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Doc Ma'am, for that wonderful and insightful message. Okay, so thank you for your huge contributions and support to UP Manila PCBDO activity the past year. Before we end our afternoon, let us take a picture to commemorate this event. For the photo op, I'm encouraging everyone to please open their camera.
Meron pa po tayong evaluation form. So, pakipos muna mga camera dahil evaluation form ang kasunod nito.
Okay, let's wait for others. Ready na ba ang technology? Okay. So,
Kayo ay nakikinig sa programang Boses ng Magsasaka.
I think ilan ba yung panel? 2 panels. Okay. So, let's take a picture. 3, 2, 1. Okay, another one. 3, 2, 1. Ikot lang. May next panel pa. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for attending today. And I think may evaluation for tayo, no?
Meron. So ayan, ito na nga. So we are reminding everyone that the link for our evaluation form is already available in our chat box. So kahapon, meron tayong mga nagkakaproblema daw sa day 1. So isi-send din namin yung link for day 1. So technically, pakisend na lang yung day 1 na natin ng links.
Okay, so on behalf of the University of the Philippines, Manila Technology Transfer and Business Development Office, thank you so much everyone for attending today's Teknolusugan 2023 entitled Levels Up, Maximizing Transformative Technologies for Better Healthcare and Development. This is a webinar featuring UP Manila Intellectual Property and Health Technology. So it's been great to have the chance to host this event along with Virginie for today.
Wow. So may kasunod pa to, Ryan. So if you have any questions, please contact ptpdo.upm@edu.ph or you may reach out through our Facebook page and website. Ako na po pala ulit, si Ginoong Jimmy Reynoso. Taos-pusong nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng tumalo sa 2 hapon na nagbigay sa atin ng bagong kaalaman. Salamat at kaya ang kami ipamalas ang mga teknolohiya at ating mahal na universidad. Sana ay mag-init sa ito para sa mas marami pang invensyon. So bago ako tuluyang maghiwalay, bago tayo tuluyang maghiwalay, may iwan akong mga kataga. No weekend ay parating, leave ay gamitin, mental health ay alagaan para sa trabaho, ikay ganahan. Hanggang sa muli po, paalam, happy weekend everyone. Ayun po pala, sa December, meron po kami Salimnoria event. So, stay tuned po for more details. Post po namin sa aming PTBDO page. See you guys on next event. And see you around. Bye! Happy long weekend. At iboto ang tamang kapitan sa darating election. Thank you po. Vote wisely, October 30.